So, in our previous session, I see the glasses now. That's great. I just turned and looked and saw Jason with the glasses. Perfect. You finished up at the Etheric Bastion. You decided that Uranus would be sent on his way. Instead of joining the group, he joined you in the engine room to turn off the engine for the Etheric Bastion. In the process, you acquired a solium capacitor. In the event that some kind of catastrophic overload happens, whether it be with B2 or otherwise, you could potentially stop a problem from happening. You then said goodbye to him, and there was a moment where Darrow / B2 questioned the party about potentially touching the temporal orb, as to whether or not that might be a good idea. And there were a few comments as to what might happen and talking about that. But after saying goodbye to him, you got into the puddle jumper, you flew out of the Etheric Bastion. He touched the temporal orb, so you assume, and instead of it having built up inertia and flying off into the distance and crashing into a mountain, it simply dropped out of the air. It partially got caught in the temporal field that was in the sky where things get stuck and spiraled out of control before catastrophically hitting the ground, creating a massive shockwave and a giant crater in the ground below, the shockwave having carried up the sides of the mountain and carrying dust and debris with it as well. You then started or continued your journey towards Tael Noro with Xander talking to Darrow about how, or I don't remember if it was, I think he was talking to Darrow about his feelings about what happened, with the thought that other members of the party probably wanted to talk with him as well. You said that you would find the location that Blackstar remembered as being a relatively safe and somewhat secret location, and probably taking a long rest there, and probably continuing your conversations before actually heading the 30 to 45 minute walk it is from that location to Tael Noro itself. So we pick back up on the puddle jumper. Yes?
What time of day would it be right now?
I remember you saying it was pretty early still. At the end, toward the end of the last session.
Yeah, so I had said you had another 4 hours approximately to get to this location where you were going to be hiding the puddle jumper.
Right.
We didn't actually skip forward to that point because I didn't know what more conversations might happen on the puddle jumper on the way there. So, and I had said that it would be probably, I think I said mid-afternoon, maybe after those 4 hours.
Right.
So
yeah,
I just thought it was earlier, so that was why I was like long rest already.
Gotcha. Right. Yeah, that's true. So I'll say it's probably somewhere between 11 and noon at this point. So you all sit aboard the puddle jumper. I think Garen had said that he needed to use the restroom and didn't like the idea of peeing out of the back of the puddle jumper with the gate down in the back. And
I have a designated bucket or something.
Yeah, you had a pee bucket. Yep, that's right.
Yeah. Fun for you guys.
So Xander and
sometimes gotta pee in a bucket.
Xander and B2 in the cockpit, the two seats that are there, and the rest of you strewn around the rest of the puddle jumper.
Sorry.
Yeah, you have 4 hours ahead of you. Is there anything you want to do or discuss?
Quick question before I'm sorry. Quick
What
question
flag?
before I
Is that the Tael
the
Noro
Maryland flag.
Football Club or something?
The Tael Noro football.
Tael Noro Football Club. How many days has it been since we left?
Like 3, is it?
Anaria's Watch?
This is only the second day. Because first day was
Spider
Nest
Attack
at the end.
Yeah.
It's been 2 days.
This is day 2. We're halfway through day 2.
Okay.
Oh,
you know what you're going to be doing the first 2 days of Tael Noro?
Waiting on this book.
First 2 days in the city, reading only.
Yeah.
I mean, less likely to get your stuff stolen that way.
Maybe.
Unless the book gets stolen.
Well,
And we gave
once,
Tim an idea.
Once this second day is done, it's ready for reading. So,
How many days did it start with? Was it like 15 or something?
it was 14. And so
It's only been 14 days since the
it took
heist
us-
at the
Yeah.
Joran Kors and Seor.
yeah.
Yep.
2 weeks.
I thought like it was a month. You had to wait.
Nope.
No.
14 days. 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
What an eventful 2 weeks. My goodness.
Right? Yeah. A lot has transpired. For us, it's
Yeah.
been over a year. Right?
Has it?
Yeah.
it has.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was before Jay and Chris joined us. So
Yeah.
Yep.
that's crazy.
It's crazy.
2 weeks. All right. We might be a little slow.
Might.
A little.
Nah,
A
get
little
out of here. I won't
Dude,
hear it.
you guys chose different words. Felix was like, might. Eric was like, a little. Like,
Yeah. Every bit of that sentence is questionable.
So, aboard the puddle jumper, what would you like to do?
My head hurts from all of that. It's like a
Pure
blank.
wounds on Black Star's head.
It's like a blank in my mind. Like did we come to a conclusion about time travel? Has anyone come to a personal conclusion about any of that?
I mean,
Yeah.
My personal
I-
conclusion is leave it to you guys.
Yeah, just tune it
Not
out.
too far off from what I decided. I concluded that I ain't going to worry about it and deal with it.
Is that
And leave it to the Mr. Expert up there in the front. Gesturing towards
That-
Xander.
Xander? What's the deal with time travel?
Give us a Neil deGrasse Tyson style explanation.
Some Carl Sagan sprinkled liberally in there.
It's possible.
Yep.
That's it.
I mean,
Right.
even I figured that out.
Yeah. Is there
I mean,
is there
there's-
more?
I mean, what else is there to know? We don't have the technology, at least in this very moment, in order to develop that. I mean, that ship was
I
beyond
mean,
anything that any of us have ever
If
seen.
time travel
Great question. If time travel.
exists at some point in the future, wouldn't that mean? And I like, what did happen?
Yeah, your internet cut, and then it caught up. It went in speed mode to catch up.
Yeah.
So if time travel,
Yeah. If time travel exists in the future, if time travel exists in the future, doesn't that mean that it's always existed? Because they can go back in times and like
Well,
time travel from
yes,
there.
I mean, theoretically, there are.
so we have this
there-
the
there-
technology at the present.
Theoretically, the technology does exist, but we've gotten rid of our first piece. Like, that ship possibly had everything that we would need to achieve it, but we don't know what any of that technology does or looks like. I mean, the amount of reverse engineering that we would need to do would, I mean, take years. Like, there's really no knowing when we would actually even be able to figure it out.
Can you
mean-
imagine if the Chainless had stumbled upon this somehow? Provided they
Even-
haven't somehow stumbled upon this.
Let's say it does take us years to figure it out. Couldn't we then go back in time before we figure it out and go about our day?
You know,
All right, now
you
we're
just got here, and I'm not sure that I like you.
But you gotta remember, maybe it goes off
Darrow's
of
back.
The endgame paradox that I read about, where it creates a whole new timeline. So by going back, you're not going back to your past; you're going back to a different past of a different timeline.
Don't know that book might have come out when I was being experimented on.
That's from my childhood.
Oh,
It was written by a really old author named Tim Young.
Wait, but
that was
your
super old.
childhood, wouldn't that be in the future now? So you're the
I
No,
thought
no,
it-
my true childhood, Darrow's
Tim-
childhood.
Unless
Just-
I
Tim, can
thought
we see
his
JJ?
childhood-
Can we just see
Wait,
JJ?
your,
Just bring
your
JJ
true
here.
childhood.
You know what? Little man.
JJ will have all the answers.
I'm curious to see what happened if someone got thrown out of this, so feel free to keep asking questions.
Ooh, Dara,
I mean,
you're
I can
spicy.
fly, so we could do it. Do you want to do it? I'll go over to the door at the back.
No, we don't have to do that. Darrow, how do you feel about all of this?
I am very confused.
Okay, all right. I'm okay. That's where I'm at, so I'm glad I'm not alone.
I'm gonna do what I do best, and that's just
Stab things.
be a soldier and keep marching forward, and someone else, and I point to Xander, will figure it out.
I look at Xander. He's more fun when he's B2 sometimes. But I like his compass like this. This is compass that I can work with.
Yeah, he's got a little more spunk like this, but B2's a little more clueless, and I kind of like that.
Yeah, you would.
Yeah, I can hear you guys.
Yes, I know you can hear me. I was hoping you did hear me.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've grown to care a little bit less about the things that I say out loud. If Black Star can get away with it, then I hope I can too.
Yeah, but I'm charming and handsome, and you're... And I
He's
turn
got that
into
voice.
Xander.
Innocence, he can get away with it too.
I just say things because I didn't know you'd get offended.
All right.
Yeah, with that face, it works.
I will turn this ship around.
I turn back to Black Star with a Fu Manchu. Be like, oh, you don't have to do that. I'm going to rock this in Tael Noro, by the way. It's just long and it kind of dangles.
Is it made out of fire?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
I do got one question though for you. How's B2 feeling about all this? Because he's got a little less invested in the past than you do, I think.
You know, that will be a great question for when he comes back. That was a lot for something that's only been alive 2 weeks. You know, that was a lot to a process. So,
all right.
Great question. I don't know if it changes anything for him though. At the end of the day, he wants to protect all of you, so that doesn't change if he's from the future, or from the past, or the present. How he protects you, that probably changes, but
yeah. All right. Well, if you talk to him or however y'all work that out, we're here to listen if he needs to talk or whatnot.
all right.
Hey, Garen, are you happy you're traveling with us yet? With all the exposure to magical and technological things that...
I just want to be on the ground.
I mean, that you're on a ground of sorts.
It's not the same. It doesn't count.
No, I guess it doesn't, but...
Should we bring like a sack filled with dirt so we can have like this little corner?
Oh, that's not a bad idea, actually.
No.
We could get like a plot, like a plant plot thing, and just keep like a corner of earth. Garen, would you like that?
Might make me a bit more comfortable here. Sure.
Yeah, you're smart. You might be smarter than the other one, and I overtly gesture towards Xander.
Uh-huh. I don't know what game you're playing at, but I'm gonna...
Windy.
Yeah, are there windows I forget if there's any
Just
like
the
way to
front
see
window.
outside.
Just the front.
Just the front? Yeah, so yeah, he's just super uncomfortable.
He's kind of rocking.
I'm just gonna...
I mean, try and keep in mind where we're going. Next time you touch dirt, it'll be in the caldera.
Oh, yes.
And it'll be even better than where you're from, which will not be named.
It will not. I've never been to Tael Noro, but I can...
I was going to ask. Black Star, we don't want him hitting you right now.
I kind of want that.
I might be a
I
bit
All right,
kinda
fine.
want
Never
that
mind.
too.
Keep speaking. I tried. Do what
What
you
are the
will.
what are the matches like between Tael Noro Football Club and Hyalus Football Club?
Well, Hyalus is, typically very slow. They're not very cunning either.
Yeah, but once we get the ball, you can never get it back.
They do have a very good defense, but I mean, Tael Noro, just in general, we're smoother, we're better,
Fatter? Is that what you were gonna say?
That's
we're harder, better, faster, stronger. There you go.
I don't know
Well,
about
I don't
harder or
I don't
stronger.
think you want to be quoting Yay right now. That's he's not really in a good spot
Daft
in this
Punk.
world.
Thank you,
Daft Punk.
Felix. How
Yeah.
dare you? Don't, was this like
Yeah.
people who said, "Oh, Paul McCartney, who's this Paul McCartney guy? I'm so glad Ye picked him up." Please don't, dude.
I love
Please
Daft
don't.
Punk, dude.
But I mean, anyway, so when we land, I feel like it's important to say that don't speak too openly about anything you enjoy owning if you want to continue owning it.
Oddly specific.
Yeah, maybe check every once in a while, like your pockets. If you bump into anyone, immediately check your pockets. And then probably just don't say anything that makes you sound too smart, because people who are smart will get targeted. Don't
Better
seem
watch out, Garen.
gullible.
No, I gotta be careful then.
Yeah.
Didn't...
You have read a book, Garen.
Mhm.
It's true. Garen, don't be too intimidating, because then people might feel that as a threat and then might try to target. Like when you fight the biggest person in the jail to establish dominance. Garen, don't draw attention.
How do I go about that?
Yep. And then Razir, you've been here, so you know.
Yeah.
Do you have anything to add to that? I just feel like it's many of you, and I overtly gestured towards Xander,
There's a lot of that
haven't
tonight.
really been around people that don't have things.
Yeah, like keep in mind the way Black Star is, but add desperation and
Yeah.
So I should
more greed somehow is kind of the
I
general
should tell
vibe.
I should tell
More
people that
greed.
I love this ring, and I'll hold up the ring of anchoring.
Ooh, you should do that.
I mean,
that-
if that's how you want to unload it without
Actually,
getting
there
paid
might be a
for it,
place
that's-
in the city where we can take that ring that might actually really enjoy that.
I'd love to get some coin in exchange for
Well,
it.
there's like this fun place that sells a lot of problematic items. It's like they sometimes sell some cursed stuff. I mean, maybe not openly cursed, but that's whispered curses essentially. There's a
There's not a
spot.
whole lot of water in Tael Noro.
No, but it'd be so much fun. Sorry.
Nah, but I can imagine some less than kind individuals getting a hold of that, putting it on somebody they didn't like, and then putting that somebody inside of a barrel full of water.
And then once they drown, you get the ring back. You can continuously use it. I mean, it shouldn't be used for any nefarious schemes. But if you wanted to exploit wealthy nobles who have lakeside properties somewhere in the world, I'm sure it would be. Actually, Xander, could I have that ring?
Yeah, I was just about to say, why don't I give it to you and you can haggle for the best price or plant it on somebody, or I don't need this.
I don't
I will
need
give
it,
it to
but I
him.
do want it. Yes, I'll take it.
You found that in the chest on the way to Seor, right? On the river.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
riverboat
and then we got
thing.
stopped by the Sahagin
3 weeks ago.
and I jumped into the water and I sunk.
Yeah, that was fun.
I think it was closer to 4 weeks ago.
Weeks ago.
All right, you have it. I can delete it from my inventory.
Is there a description for it, or is it?
It might
like
be
an
a
actual-
custom item. I think I made it in my personal thing. I'll send you the description.
Okay. Thanks.
I'm just surprised that the Tael Noro I hear was a bustling religious city. That
The ring of anchoring is in the in the list.
Yeah,
by the
I'll
way.
just repost it. Oh, is it?
It's
Well,
out for me. It's a
Darrow,
blue item.
It was a
I mean-
non-profit city.
Oh.
Just charity work after charity work.
What's non-profit mean? Like,
You do things not for gold. You just do it out of the kindness of your heart.
oh, like the long con. So like you don't collect right away, you collect later on.
You never collect. You never, just never. There was a mutual agreement during the war that everyone just left Tael Noro alone because it was so good. Just morally good.
Yeah, we
Wait,
just don't talk about
so-
Tael Noro.
This ring lets you cast jump at will?
I don't know what
Like
he's
in
talking
jumping?
about.
Finally looking in his inventory? Or are you just looking at rings?
Tim,
No, I'm looking at Ring of
Anchoring?
Anchoring.
was there a point where the back door per se was open and we were flying and it was fine? No one was falling out or anything?
Yeah, you've done it a couple times now.
Mhm.
I want to do that if I can.
Sure.
I don't know if Garen knows how to
Anything
do that. He's just gonna.
Jumping?
Can someone open the door? I don't want to punch it or hit it too hard to get it open.
I'll as the co-pilot trigger the door.
All right.
I'll stay close to Garen so I can cast fly on him just in case.
I'm just gonna play catch with myself and throw the Onyx Fist out and catch it
Nice.
to
Yep.
kill some
That
time.
seems safe.
The wind is kind of going past the back. Yeah, I mean, it's scenic. It's beautiful. There's puffy white clouds around. You get a breath of fresh air, although all the air is rushing past the puddle jumper as it's flying through the air. Oh, you did say that you flew way back down because you were like 5,000 feet in the air, and now you're like closer to 1,000, somewhere in that range, as you're flying towards Tael Noro. So you're everything on the ground's pretty small, but you get the mountain ranges kind of on either side. If you were facing you are facing the Genesis Caldera, so like looking out through the front window, you can just see this massive expanse of a desert with rolling sandstorms kind of going throughout it. And I mean, it's clear enough and you're high enough in the air where you can even, like, Garen can look out and see where Hyalus is. You can't see like the city front sticking out of the mountain at all, but you like, I know that Hyalus is there. I mean, that's like, is it like 100 something miles away? Oops. Yeah, it's about 100 miles.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could probably recognize.
But it's all like the desert there's a little bit of rolling hills, but it's mostly just a massive, wide open, flat,
Wouldn't be
mostly flat
dunes?
dunes. Sure, there's some dunes. No, he froze again.
Dune?
I don't know. Like,
He's just sitting really still.
No, he was frozen.
That's Son al
wouldn't be
Gaib.
dunes because it said rolling hills, but it's a desert. Sand
Hassan
Rolling
al
dunes.
Gaib.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna go
May thy
sandworm
knife
riding.
ship and shatter.
Mm-hmm.
May thy
How
knife
long will we
chip
be in
the
Tael
shadow.
Noro?
As long as it takes. We're not going to Hyalus. Stop asking. They wouldn't let us into your city anyway, bunch of snobs.
If you're with me, you're getting in.
Oh, wait, really?
Maybe not you. Maybe I need to keep an eye on you.
What? Why me? What have I done to you,
I
Garen?
don't know. You
thought we
seemed too excited.
I've never
You
been to
you
that
were
city.
you were just like pouring the praises of Tael Noro and
Well, yes,
hating
Tael Noro's
on
superior
Hyalus.
to Hyalus in every way.
But now I mentioned that you can get in as long as I'm with you, and you're like, "Oh, whoa, really? What?" It just makes me.
I've never been there to play a show there, and I whisper to Razir and steal from them would be amazing. A show to play. Doesn't that sound great? We could play together.
Can I
You
roll
made
an
up that
insight check to
song.
see if I believe him?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to. His deception is way too high, but whatever. I'm gonna try it.
No, man.
Maybe he's
I wanna-
persuading.
Hey, if B2 can catch him on a sleight of hand.
Oh, that's
Oh,
true. That did
very
happen.
I rolled a 7.
For a total of 21.
21.
21?
I'd like to cast silvery
mean-
barbs on Black Star. But before that, I need to
Um,
do this. No, we're good. Nothing bad happens.
I guess
Oh, thank God it casts every bar.
I guess mechanically,
He can?
that's technically allowed, but I'm not entirely certain that
Oh,
Clovis
true. Yeah.
knows
Yeah, because
that he's
Yeah.
doing
Oh,
that
okay.
right now. Also,
Alright.
it's not working. Like, the roll's
What's
not
not
coming
working?
through for me on
Foundry.
Foundry. Oh, now it all came through. I refreshed. Okay.
Well, in that case, yeah, there's some nice places you can probably get a show in.
That'd be great. Garen, I would love to play in Hyalus. I would love to spread the Tael Noro joy
Yeah.
to all the people.
Maybe you
I
can
would
sing with my
like-
mom.
Joy in Tael Noro.
Oh, I would love to reach the hands of Tael Noro out and grasp onto friendship
Their purses,
and
right?
people's goods. I whisper to Razir.
Yeah. Also, a thought crossed my mind. We'll probably be doing it here in Tael Noro, but with that chainless base where it is, in the
Oh,
proximity to it, and with how active they've been doing things, it might not be a bad idea once we get a feel for what's going on in Tael Noro to maybe swing by Hyalus, make sure nothing's going on there, because it's a pretty isolated town. So
Well,
might
saying
be
that
that-
also, should we get disguises for this? Should we? Because I feel like we're on the poop list. We're in the doghouse.
I mean,
Not sure why.
if there ain't a chainless presence in Tael Noro, we should be fine.
Last time I was here, there was not, but that was probably, a month
But I mean,
ago.
if the Spy Glove,
They're
We're working
reporting
with
to the
them.
chainless, so who's to say?
they'd probably know.
It might not be 100%. I don't think.
Would you do that thing that you always do, Blackstar, on all of us?
No, I can do that to me. That's the end of the
And
statement.
I really thought there was an and there.
I know. I like to leave them open in case I think of something witty, but I couldn't that time.
Okay.
Mm.
I mean, I think we'll be okay. Like
Nope.
they, I mean, if Blackstar needs to change his appearance, like yeah, that makes sense. But I think as for the rest of us, we'll be okay.
I might be able to do something about that.
You?
Yes.
New guy?
Hey, well, as we're talking about this, Blackstar, did you showed us before? You have copies of them wanted posters, right?
Yes.
Right. Well, if you pull them out, we could see what we look like in them pictures, and then make sure we don't look like that specifically.
For anyone who doesn't know, apparently the Chainless believes we're behind the most recent attacks for whatever random reason. They've put out wanted posters. Hopefully no one remembers what I've said previously, but it's completely unrelated to anything I might have done. But also here, and I pull out the wanted posters. See, there's Xander. And I pull the one of Louise out. I'd be like, no, not that one. And then here's Garen. And then here's Razir. And here's the most handsome person in the party. And then here's me.
Why does it actually say the most handsome person in the party?
Well, I mean, me and the Red King go way back, so,
It doesn't even say your name. It just says the most handsome person in the party.
What can I say? I mean,
Okay.
game
I
recognized game.
actually, I have disguise self.
I mean, I could just try and do seeming on how many is
Do
it?
what?
Seeming.
Magic. I just
Any
need
number of
a
creatures
large
within range. Yeah.
cloth. Because I usually don't wear much, so just wearing more stuff should make me seem at least slightly.
You ever tried to dress up a mountain?
That sounds dumb.
Right. I'm glad we agree on something. Then.
I'll cast seeming and make everyone look like me. Just slight height differences.
I don't like this at all.
And
Bonuses just all
just to
looking
see
slightly
if
different.
I use
But-
one of my charges.
But
I
aren't you
do-
also on the run? So like now,
only lasts for 8 hours. By the time we get to Tael Noro tomorrow, I'll make us look like different people.
Oh, this was an
I
example.
can do myself. I don't
Yeah.
want to be tied into one look for too long.
I mean, I'm pretty sure you can
Looking-
override it. Like,
Do I have my hat on in this wanted poster? Because if I do, that's a simple one. It's the hat goes on or off depending on that, and then my bandana goes on or off depending on.
Well, I
Just
rolled,
hat
but the roll's
bandana.
not coming through because my game is broken, apparently.
I feel like Foundry's being really slow right now.
It
Yeah.
was for me
It
loading.
was
in.
acting funny for me.
I'll be right back. Gonna grab more food.
Stop eating. I mean,
Oh, there it is.
does the wanted poster have Razir's hat on in it?
It does not.
Oh, convenient! Now I get to wear my hat
I rolled for it.
that I'm always wearing, anyways. So hat on, bandana up.
do remember,
Whoa!
you look
Whoa,
like a
where'd
5 feet
Razir go?
tall Clovis right now.
What about Clovis?
He looks like a 5 feet tall Clovis right now.
Yeah, Garen looks like a giant gnome.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah.
I'm so glad gnomes are short because you're terrifying at this size. Look at your feet. That's ridiculous.
Oh man. Well,
That could be
I think
worse.
I'm just
Could be-
terrifying in general. It has nothing to do with what I look like.
That's fair. You are terrifying.
Hmm.
I'd have to. Never mind. Doesn't matter.
What were you gonna say?
So, tomorrow, should I make him look 1 foot shorter than he actually is, or 1 foot taller, maybe same
can
height?
you just make him look like a different orc, and then we're
Yeah.
good? That way
Here's
we
your
don't have to.
let's-
Just make my skin green and take
Yeah,
away my
don't-
tattoos.
We don't
I mean,
have to
all
worry
orcs
about
look
like
the
the
same
whole height
anyway.
thing.
Wait, do the posters have color on them, or is it just like black and white?
Full
What?
color.
No.
Have color.
Full, yeah, it's full color. Of course, it's the
What did
Red
you say,
King. You
Black
spare no expense. Huh? What'd you say?
You made a comment there.
I don't
Who did?
remember. Last time.
What?
Tim heard it.
I didn't hear it.
I didn't hear it.
You didn't hear what I said about orcs?
Oh, I guess it was just me.
Just Chris. then. Anyway,
Check the recording on that one.
well, I mean, all right. Well, we'll touch down. I think we covered the basics, Razir, about safety in Tael Noro. Oh, everyone should travel with a friend except me all the time.
You want to be
Well, we got an
alone?
even number of people, so you'll need to have somebody with you.
Oh, can't be like.
Could
a
we
group
have
of
a group of 3? Yeah.
Yeah,
Could,
two groups.
but
yeah, group of
like
two.
odd man out, you might
Wait,
have a chance to lose.
does-
If you're walking down a road, you get 2 people, and one person has to walk behind. They're kind of separated off, and they can be picked off. You want to stay in pairs.
That's fair.
Yes. Strong person with weak person who can shoot fireballs.
Do
Oh,
Daryl and B2 count as 2 people, or is it just still 1 for?
It's still just one.
Ultimately,
They're
one.
one at a time, so it only counts as
Yeah.
one for this.
I don't
system.
need 2 disguises.
Just one. Who's sticking with the new guy then?
I went hunting with the guy. I'm
Yeah, so it sounds like you guys are buddies.
Yeah.
I was trying to say
I call Xander. I
Okay.
gotta watch out.
B2 did what's the word? Dedicate himself to the protection of Xander.
Oh,
I
that's a lot
feel
of
like you
words
good
for
guys just
life.
want to hang
I
out.
did that before he did.
Up.
Oh, you had dibs first?
Yes.
But recency biased. So.
Ah!
Well, I've said it more times.
Xander. I'm his co-pilot.
Oh, look, he's back. He's back.
All right, well, Xander,
So
now that... oh,
our teams are Garen and the new fella,
Yep.
Darrow / B2 and Xander, and that puts me and you together, Black Star.
Exactly the way I wanted it to go.
I
Or-
think that could be useful.
Or
Absolutely.
Garen and I could go together, and we put the 2 wizards together.
Well, he's not a wizard. Are you a
Well,
wizard?
I mean, the two magically inclined, studious people together.
Yeah, but I saw you teleport earlier. Aren't you also
Nope.
magical?
No, you didn't. Nope.
What are you talking about?
Well, you know what? Maybe you're right.
That's right.
Well, I mean, I doubt that we'll split up like that anyway. But if we do split up into smaller groups, that's the way we'll run it. So,
Uh,
yeah.
One quick thing. Last night I burned down that whole giant spider thingy.
We all collectively burned it
Yeah,
down.
but don't want to argue about who did it. But what's Tael
thought I saw
Noro's
Black Star drop
policy
something.
on arson? Because you seem to like it a lot.
Oh boy.
So you shouldn't set things on fire. But also, if you see something on fire, it's probably not, like completely ill-conceived. Tael Noro's free.
Not an accident.
Yeah, it's a free place, and arson is a crime, and Tael Noro being the city of crime, allegedly, arson happens sometimes. Or quite often. It just depends. I'm not sure what cycle of the moon are we in right now. What's the season? I'm not sure if arson is in right now.
I'm just gonna interject just mildly on what you're commenting on. So, Blackstar and Razir would know that crime and murder are rampant in Tael Noro. It is mostly allowed. Which is interesting, unless it is directly against one of the gangs in Tael Noro, then it's a big problem. All the gangs in the city, or I shouldn't say all of them, most of them take turns as the police, quote unquote. They often fight and squabble over who wants to do it more often, because then they have their force out, like just allowed to be spread out throughout the city, kind of quote unquote controlling things. That's why there has to be turns being taken, and there is a hierarchy of the gangs, and there is one leader of Tael Noro, but nobody. It's often fought over which gang the boss belongs to. All the gangs think that the boss is part of their gang. No one knows his or their true identity.
Okay, so the Shogunate and the Emperor. Got it.
So that's like the overarching. But there's also a council. Alex Blackstar already knows that. But there's a council. So there's a system of government to an extent, but random stabbings or petty theft, not really too frowned upon for the most part.
We try to avoid outright killing people all the time, but I mean, you'll get stabbed if you mouth off too much. And then again, I said check your pockets, and I do mean that quite literally. If you want to set a timer in your head every hour or so, and just make sure you have everything that you came with. Anything left in the vehicle is not my responsibility if it gets gone, unless I took it, but then prove it and come for me. But
don't tempt me.
Oh, Garen, you're everyone's so spicy today. This is Tael Noro already. I feel it. I need to keep Garen off the ground more often. He's so much more fun.
Quick question.
Another one.
Yeah, it's because you say, they steal everything. Are we gonna sleep in Tael Noro or go back to the ship?
Oh, I was gonna sleep in Tael Noro.
Will the ship be safe?
Safe zones to sleep?
I mean, no.
You lock the door and kind of get a chair and barricade it up against it.
Or like you would in any inn.
Actually, you and I, Daryl, are going to be just fine because we're basically keeping watch the whole time. Yeah, with the two of us, one person can watch a door, one person can watch a window / the ceiling or the floorboards or the walls. Kind
Okay.
of just we'll
What's the
face each
point?
other and watch every direction.
What's the point of buildings if people can just come in at any time?
I mean, you're not. I mean, you can get stabbed anytime you just come into a building. Like, no one's gonna stop. If you came into a building, they're not gonna be like, "Hey, I'll call the." They're just gonna stab you. Like, it's frowned. It's not like you just go in willy-nilly. Like you do whatever you want. You're gonna get got for it.
So prepare to fry them with a lightning bolt. All right.
If I mean, yes.
Yeah, Garen, the thing to remember here is it is okay if somebody's annoying you to just deck them.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
absolutely.
okay.
You could just lay them out on the floor and nobody will bat an eye.
Yeah, most people won't care. Depending on the gang.
You'll
if
lay
it-
them out on the floor, and then Black Star will run their pockets.
Oh, I'll definitely run their pockets for sure. I'll probably run pockets even without you hitting people. But it's just it's a free place. It's very free. Just let go of whatever values and morals you've had in your life
Don't have
since
much,
you were
so,
born.
right?
Yeah, and just let it flow through you. Let the chaos flow and just experience town. Don't have a silver spoon, and I overtly gesture towards Xander.
Yeah.
You're just
Just
getting dragged.
just live.
Yeah, we'll keep him towards the middle of the group.
Yeah, and just
Now, I have one question.
of course you do.
If you, for lack of better wording, if you deck the wrong person, right? What are the chances that we have a whole gang come out of the woodwork and we're
Just continue decking.
knees deep in a fight?
He's got it.
So, but it's not a one for all kind of thing. It's we're all like there are
Well,
still
we're a
groups of
gang.
people. Well, right. But what I'm saying is like you're saying if somebody's giving you a problem, just deck them. But like if you deck somebody, what are the odds that 10 other people come out of the woodwork and are gonna fight against us?
Excellent question. We'll ask the right questions when we get on ground. We'll find out who's running the streets right now. We'll find out what the happening. We'll get the local scoop and have a little more information to be prepared with, so that whilst decking, we deck with care, I suppose.
And if it's just 10 guys, I think we'll be fine.
Yeah, that's fair.
Mm.
Couldn't we also just pretend to be part of a different crew, and that way that crew takes the blame and we're clean?
Yeah, what about that spiked gauntlet one you mentioned?
Yeah, so one of the larger gangs, I don't know what the hierarchy is right now. I'm not sure what cycle we're in or what season. We're gonna get on ground and we'll figure it out, right?
Okay.
You just don't worry too much about it right now. We're not even there yet. It could be different by the time we land and walk into town. I don't know what's happening right now.
Right.
Be free, be loose.
On that note, Black Star,
Yeah.
do you have someone you can go to, an information broker, being that you're not part of the gang no more?
I mean, there are people who are kind of freelance in general. So yeah, I mean, there's places
All right,
to
'cause
go for sure.
I've got a guy I used to have as a contact when I was doing the bounty hunting back in the day. Could make
Who's
use
your
of him, but with me being blacklisted, I don't know if they'll want to involve themselves with me.
That's a good point. I mean, as long as I feel like it's just avoid the gilded chain in general. But I mean, parlor tricks is really nice. But I feel like the best place is probably Monarch Assassin, though it might be difficult to not pay. I don't know what my standing is right now.
I think your preferred is probably Black Hole Sun.
Black Hole Sun for sure is like that's my favorite place. But we have to see. I don't, with everything that's happened to me recently.
Hold on. No, keep going.
We'll start in the Narrows. All right, I grew up in the Narrows. I would claim that as my district. We'll start there, and we'll see what's what.
Dude, if this city is music themed, like how like Black Star like is after David Bowie, and Black Hole Sun is in like the Soundgarden district or something, I'm gonna tweak. I'm gonna go crazy.
Oh, you're not ready for it. The entire town, the entire time we're here, it's all a musical.
I'm gonna go nuts.
There are a few music related places. You might not notice them. I helped Tim with some of the naming stuff, so
dude, if we go to a bar named the Rolling Stone, I'm gonna freak out.
Nothing so overt like that.
Except for Black Hole Sun.
Except Black Hole Sun, because I just love that song.
Yeah.
The Sledgehammers is one of my favorites, especially the owner, but that's...
Mm-hmm.
In any case. Speaking of which, I think we're here, and I'll go and whip this bad boy around and land us into our private
what a
hiding spot.
segue.
So what you see from above, as you've now traveled an additional 4 hours, which is 40 solium. So
I've been playing catch for 4 hours.
Subtract that from the total, the person who's keeping track of the fuel.
The person.
Go ahead and move this over
The
here
Jason.
to... it's technically up and to the left, so north west of Tael Noro, but that's where the hex is. Black Star points it out, and there is a clearing. There are a couple of like dead trees. There's like one or two trees that have some foliage on them, but it's almost like a mini caldera. And when I say mini, it's like really small. So like you could probably park like 5 or 6 puddle jumpers in this little spot, but it's pretty small by comparison to the actual area. So it's up in the mountains. There's like a rock outcropping that's kind of juts out, and it's just a cliff that falls down hundreds of feet to the ground. But you can see that there's only because you're this close to it now as you've come down, and you've made sure to probably swing out and around so you're not visible from anybody who might be traveling in or out of Tael Noro, or just in the caldera, not being a dot in the sky. Circling around from the back, you can like just see barely that there's like a little path that leads down the mountain to get basically into the caldera, that will dump you out probably close to half a mile from the actual entrance to Tael Noro, so you're plenty out of the way. There's not a whole lot to hide it up here. There's the mountains jut up all around, kind of creating this almost like little bowl that you're parking in. And yeah, so you set it down, and the dust kind of kicks up as it settles down onto this stone and sand rocky surface that's here. So if somebody walked up this path and came up here, they would see it, unless you have something that you want to use to hide it. But it is out of the way.
Nothing big enough.
Do we have anything to hide this thing?
No,
Nope.
I was thinking if I could apply enlarge reduce twice, because I could make it
Keep it in
into
your
a
pocket.
ball. I could make the spell enlarge reduce into a ball and then have Java cast it, and then I could shrink it to a small size and then use wrist pocket. But it wouldn't work.
It sounds cool.
It does.
Yeah. But even then, enlarge reduce.
Does
only
Tim
lasts
like the
for,
rule of cool?
Enlarge reduce only lasts for an hour, so even if I were to do like wrist pocket, which is also a concentration spell, so it wouldn't work, or like if you were to throw it in the bag of holding or something, it wouldn't
Pushed
work
out
out.
of that.
It would just push right out, and then we'd be cooked.
Yeah.
So, you
Got
feel
covered.
feels relatively secluded. I'll ask for a survival check from someone, and they can
No brush
have
or
help
scrub or
from
anything?
Someone.
I'll play a song while we're doing this.
Who is this now? Who's our survival?
I have a +7.
Garen.
I have a
probably.
+7. as
Hi
well.
ho, hi ho.
Either of you then.
Hide the thing you go.
Go ahead, Garen.
Okay.
An inspiration.
Okay.
Nice.
I'm at D8s.
Hey, you
You
had
had a
D8.
D8.
I had a
for
D8. Oh,
inspiration.
you gave me inspiration. You just said that.
It's nice like that.
Nice like
Yeah.
that.
Dice are just not working at all.
28.
Come through on my end
Hey,
right away.
Dang.
Yeah, I can see him.
Okay. Yeah,
Maybe
so it
we
must-
should be the game
must
master.
on my end.
Oh.
You should be the game master.
Oh,
Go
you
ahead,
should be
take the
game
reins.
Wow.
I dare you.
Nah.
Yeah, so with a 28, you find a couple of branches, and you kind of throw them over it, and you've got some branches on there. Now, thankfully, it is of a similar color to the stone. It's not exactly the same, but from a distance, it would be hard to spot, and then the branches over it will help. You could also collect a bunch of the sand that's just around and throw it over it, but it would take a good amount of time. But you had said maybe you were going to be doing a long rest here, perhaps before heading into town. That's up to you. So you could definitely take some serious time to throw a lot of sand over it. It's not going to fully cover it. If somebody walks within 100 feet, they're probably going to be able to see it relatively easily.
Now it looks like a puddle jumper with branches on it. This is amazing.
Can we make it look like it doesn't work? Like it's a ruin?
Would
I mean,
people
people
even
will
know
still
what a
sell
working-
They still want to look at it, yeah.
Yeah,
they'll
but then they
still-
might not take it at least. They'll just take stuff from it.
We're close by to Tael Noro. Didn't you just listen to Blackstar? He told us people take everything here. So.
Yes, but maybe not
Yeah.
the ship is what I just said.
I think we're mostly just banking on hoping nobody shows up here.
For the most part, yeah.
Yeah.
Depending on how long we're in town, we might want to just periodically come up here and take a look.
That would be smart.
Also, on a 28, I will say that you see that there are some footprints, but they are old. So it's been at least several weeks since someone has been up here. Blackstar, you would know that this is a common meeting place for, or maybe not even a meeting place, but like for a dead drop. And I would even go so far as to say where that dead drop location is, like one of the trees at the base of it. There's like a rock you move out of the way, and there's a little crevice in there. And
Is there anything in it?
I was just about to say, you can go over to it and you kind of lift it out, and there's an empty like sack on the inside that has a fine powder, just laced on the inside of that sack, but nothing else inside of it.
Looks like this is for me now, and I'll pocket it. Fine powder.
Just traces of that powder on the inside.
Oh, not a lot. Okay.
Right.
It's definitely anthrax. Somebody.
Like the sack was used for multiple things, one of which was this powder.
I'll put 15 gold in it.
Is that the 15 gold you stole from me?
Probably. It's not my gold. At this point, I don't spend enough for it to ever be the gold that I earned naturally.
I just had an idea. Is the puddle jumper like close to like a stone wall or something like that?
Yeah, there's like a cliff face. I assumed you parked it up against one of the cliff faces or close to it. Yeah.
I could cast a wall of stone, try and make it like.
How long does that last?
Oh, if I keep my concentration for 10 minutes, after that it's permanent.
No.
Oh. That's not bad.
That's not a bad idea at all.
Oh, the new guy's got some tricks.
I like that you can create stone. That's pretty cool.
You would like that, Hyannis fanboy.
So you got lightning, you got rocks. So you like more of a elemental kind of magic fella rather than like fancy
I'm
time
just a
stuff.
magic fella. Look at all of you who look like me right now.
Oh, right.
All right.
I still don't.
So you're
like
you're less specialized and cast a broader net on the skill set you carry around.
I
Yeah,
guess.
some people overtly gesturing towards Xander. Some people only have certain skills.
That's the name of this episode. Some people.
Some people
Or overtly
gesturing.
Use my spell slot and
The one
roll
with some
my
people.
Arcana check.
Okay.
21.
Are you doing it now?
Good.
Yeah, might as well. He needs to do it for 10 minutes. All right, should we
I
do
just
like a
concentrate for 10 minutes.
should I mean, what we're just gonna camp out up here for the night? Is that all right with everyone?
That's fine. Anywhere that's not
Uh,
in the
yeah.
sky.
Tim, I guess I'll try and make it so like the way they come toward like the not the road but like
Pathway
the
up.
path,
Path.
that leads up. When they come up, like wraps around the ship that way so they don't see it when they come up. But at
Sure.
the back, there's just like a small entrance we can go through.
That
Yep.
Garen can fit through, right?
Barely.
You can
Only
just
I
list
can.
it's a
No,
Corvus-sized
I didn't think about it.
entrance.
It's just a gnome-sized entrance. But no, it's
Just punch
like,
a hole into it. It's like
it's
we're
like-
good now.
I guess it would be like maybe a 10-foot gap, or because I can
Okay.
make like panels, just like Wall of Force.
Sure.
But
Cool,
there's
cool.
no roof on it because if I do that,
Did-
it's just gonna
Did we
crumble.
level up last session?
Mm.
What?
Did we level up last session?
No.
Oh, okay, I just want to make sure.
So you
But
feel
we
that
didn't long rest. We're gonna level up now. Ooh.
you feel that the puddle jumper is much more obscured than it was before, which is good. If anybody who's been up here before had been up here previously enough times to know there wasn't a wall there, all of a sudden there's a wall. But it's better hidden than it was.
And now, should we take the
Take some of the-
branches from the polo jumper and put them at like the entrance I created?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then I'll spend some time
Uh,
instead of putting sand on the puddle jumper. I'll put it like all around the wall and get some rocks and make it look a bit more natural, like maybe some
It can be
rocks rolled
either
down.
10 feet square panels, so 10 feet by the 10 feet. I can either create 10 of those, or oh, and they'd be where 6 and so 10 panels of 10. They can either be 10 foot high or 20 foot high. I'll just go with how high is a puddle jumper?
It's
Sorry.
yeah, it's probably about
Probably
10 feet.
10-ish.
10 feet, yeah.
10
Because it wasn't so high that we couldn't get on top of it with an
You had to
acrobatic.
climb up on
Garen
it.
can stand up inside. So
Yeah. Should I do
Right.
20 instead? Just it'd be less instead of being
No,
6
don't make
inches,
it
take
too-
three- or
Don't
just
make
go
it too
10 feet, yeah.
obnoxious.
So 10 panels of 10 feet by 10 feet, which are 6 inches thick.
Cool. Yep. So
We've done so good. We get such great teamwork here.
Mhm.
Well, what time is it?
At this point, it is
Fresh,
after all this stuff's
mid-afternoon.
4 o'clock in the afternoon. About
I wonder.
yeah, because
Do I remember how long it takes to get to town?
probably about a 30 to 45 minute walk from here. A brisk walk. I don't know that you were ever nonchalantly walking up this pathway.
I mean, that's fair.
yeah, I don't think we want to get into Tael Noro in the middle of the night. or
Yeah, I don't
just
think
before
you want
that.
to get into Tael Noro at the middle. I might want to.
So we wait till morning.
I think that's smart. Take a second to check in with ourselves, make sure we're good.
Go in the morning.
I suppose.
We could try and time it for when all the drunks are heading home.
Oh, blend in a little bit. I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know if there's an exact time when they go home.
Do they have a home in Tael Noro?
Just kind of generally in the morning after a night of
That's
drinking.
yeah, that's fair.
The
Because then
alleyway.
they have to sleep it off. Yeah. Should we check the area as well, though? Like, what if somebody saw us coming in or anything like that?
Yeah, not a bad idea.
No, we can.
Do a little recon.
Garen, you got them sharp eyes.
Yeah, and
Let's
I'll,
me and you and whoever else wants to. We'll go over to towards the edge of this mountain and look down, see if we can see anybody moving towards town.
we got it.
All right, because of his
I go with them.
his eagle vision. That's right.
I can-
Mm.
I was gonna say that was the back door open while we were landing?
Probably
If
not.
you had it open already.
Okay. I remember we had it open because I was playing catch
Sure,
with myself.
maybe it doesn't really matter. You can have it have been open while you were landing if you want.
I was just curious if I saw anything while we were landing, but I think
we came around the back anyway.
You did.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have the opportunity now to go out on this cliff ledge and look down though, if you want.
There's a beautiful scenic overlook right over here. All right, come on, follow me. And look, everyone needs to come on, Xander. You look so sad today. Clovis, you as well. If you've never seen Tael Noro, and then Darrow, you need to also, because I don't know what it looked like when you were here last.
Darrow.
I will say for Blackstar, you would know that this is an often looked at location, this kind of cliff that juts out, not because people are like keeping an eye on it, but it just like sticks out like a sore thumb. You can see it from the caldera, and people just, it's like, oh, there's a huge rock jutting out from the side of this mountain way up over there, so people just kind of occasionally just glance up there because it's a cool thing. You know, maybe there's eagles flying around or whatever. So it's possible that anyone at any point could be looking in that direction.
As we get closer, I will make a major image. I'll use major image and make, like I did before, just kind of a backdrop of what's behind us projected forward, and just move it with us so they can't, like, they're looking at the illusion unless they can see through the illusion.
We also still look like Clovis.
Wonder how that would work from a distance perspective kind of situation where it's not like right up next to it.
They'd probably be like, "What is that? That's weird." But
weird,
I mean, they wouldn't see us necessarily.
That's true.
That's what I'm more
unless
concerned.
someone has eagle vision like Garen.
Clearly seeing that there are people standing here, because then they
got
might be
another
like,
barbarian.
Let me go check that out.
It is at a certain point almost like, is it called Pride Rock from Lion King? Where
Yeah, Pride Rock.
So kind of like that, where it's like you get not a 360, but left and right, and it's got a tip to it that sticks out. Drops off probably about 300 to 400 feet to the ground.
Who's picking up Clovis to hold him up?
So beautiful.
Mm-hmm. So what do you do?
I'm taking a look around. That's what I'm doing. Doing what my eyes do best.
Using your illusory thing, Blackstar, or no?
Yeah. Just enough to make it look like it's not people. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just kind of like the rocks. It just looks like rocks a little bit.
Sure. Okay. So you all get to the edge of this, and it is breathtaking. It's just like having been in the puddle jumper, but you're just standing on rock, and it's just a drop to the ground. There are some dotted trees here and there, but it's mostly scrub grass. You can see where the grass slowly fades out to more like dead bushes, as it's almost like the desert is trying to retake some of that grassland, which it eventually goes out into. That's off to your right-hand side, and then you've got dust clouds that look like they're miles wide, and with Garen's vision being able to see a mile away, you look to your left and you can see what looks to be a gigantic red wall. It's not entirely red, it's mostly like rusted metal. It's like a gargantuan cave opening into the side of a mountain, and in front of it they've built out of scrap metal pieces of buildings or maybe ships, or who knows where they got all the metal from, but it is a patchwork, very thick, like reinforced metal wall that's across this cave opening. You're looking at it from a side perspective. The wall bows out slightly and has like large spikes on the front of it, like massive spikes, not like people spikes, like giant monster spikes to protect from whatever might come from the caldera. You're at a perspective where you can see, because there's the bowed out section of it and you have the cave, you can actually see into the city from where you are, because you can see a mile. So you can see part of what Blackstar referred to as the Crooked Narrows, and people milling about the streets and going about their business. You're within a mile.
Cameron, what do your orc eyes see?
Don't say that. It looks like people are just going about their business.
Just a further point of clarification. Sorry, I know I'm interrupting you. I'm sorry. There's a section of the mountain that comes down that is obscuring your vision of where Black Star would describe the front gate to this is. So you can't see that, and it's really hard to describe. You're seeing it from a sideways perspective, so you're seeing like most of the wall in the long way like this, and there's like a little sliver where you can see down into the city, but you can't see the front.
Okay. Yeah, I can see not a ton, but I can see that everything seems normal. No one's freaking out. No one's running around. There's no combat. No fighting, and there's like.
Oh, there's fighting in there somewhere.
Well, not where I can see. You said what did my orc eyes see?
I did say that. You're right.
And there's also, I don't know, a stone wall that's red.
It's not stone.
It's part of the mountain. Are you sure about that?
I mean, they built it into the mountain, but it's not stone.
Oh, you guys made Yeah,
it's called defenses.
I mean, is that so much better than a regular stone mountain?
No, that's defense. That's defense.
Oh,
man. Keeps people out. Defense keeps people,
Okay, I get it. I think. Yeah, that's all I see though. I didn't see any people like outside.
Why would they be outside of the city?
I don't know. We were looking to see if someone saw us.
We're outside of the city.
Oh, I forgot why we came over here.
You just like forget things immediately.
When we do eventually head down, we should head east a bit more and approach the town from that side. So it seems like we came from that side out.
From the middle
caldera.
of the caldera?
Not all the way around, but from the northeast route that people from outside the caldera come through usually.
Oh yeah,
and not the west.
Yeah, I don't know how much people I'll be able to recognize that. Like, oh, that's definitely someone that's from Hyalus that are in Tael Noro.
Just don't talk about that abysmal city, and no one will think that.
So we're not allowed to talk about
I don't see you playing anywhere.
No, don't talk about Hyalus in Tael Noro. Hyalus might as well not exist to us.
At this point, out of one of the large dust clouds, you see farther than Garen's mile vision away, coming out of this dust cloud, there are a couple of little dots that could be people, could be groups of people. You're not sure, but whatever it is causing its own little dust cloud and is moving a little quickly across the desert floor that's there, and you're like squinting and you're looking and you're like, they're not on Beast of Burden, they're on something. You can't make out what it is, but they're just rolling across. And then you do also see behind them, chasing them, like again coming out of this dust cloud, are something on some kind of beasts that are larger than these other smaller things that are going, and they're like starting to catch up with them. And then another thing comes out of the dust cloud, and it is gargantuan. From this distance, it looks like if you ever seen a rotten apple and there's like a little thing kind of sticking out of it, maybe in a cartoon when you were younger. There's a giant worm thing coming up out of the ground, and it's come up out of the ground.
Is it the worm or is that just its tongue?
From this distance, it's hard to tell. But
can I still know what it is because of like being part of?
Having
the
lived
area.
Here. Oh yeah,
we've. That sounds like something we fought. Like the stone.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
There is, there's a particular name for it which won't come into play right now because I can't remember
Just
off the top of my
pretend
head.
I said the name.
It's definitely a giant sandworm.
Ooh,
I hallude.
To see one already, this is a good omen.
Wait, so quick question: was the powder that Black Star found just straight up spice?
No, there wasn't a lot. It was only a little bit, and
San al Gaib.
Yeah.
San al Gaib.
Please tell me that for our time in the Caldera, you have some music from the Dune.
Yeah, you have the Dune
movies.
soundtrack loaded up.
No, he hates Dune.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, Garen, can you believe the luck
gonna
to
be a
see
mix.
this already? This is a welcome home.
Yeah, it's kind of bringing back some good memories. Sure.
Yeah, I mean, I know you're
I
on
mean,
the
not for
wrong
those
side
people
of the
running
Caldera,
away.
but no, that's terrible. They're not gonna make
This
it.
is gonna
but-
be a mix of Mad Max, Dune, and Tatooine. This is gonna be great.
Well, it shouldn't have any relation to Dune at all because I
Yeah.
do not.
Well, you've already put in a giant sandworm, so we've got
Yeah.
that much.
I had
And we'll get Jason
had
to sing more.
sandworms
We'll be good.
planned since before the first Dune movie came out. Whenever that was.
Everybody
In what,
No, you didn't.
1971?
Yeah, the 70s. You didn't. Sorry,
not
on
that
that
one.
one.
Okay, all right.
So let me guess, Tim. You don't like Dune because it's a French Canadian director. Is that it?
Nope, I didn't even know that.
Yeah. Didn't even know.
But that makes it worse. That makes it way worse.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
Earlier, I like that.
Alright.
Jason said he likes Daft Punk. They're French.
I
You
love
like
Daft
French
Punk.
people.
I love
You
Daft
like
Punk.
French people.
They're an exception. Anyway.
Garen,
There's a
it's
kerfuffle on the ground, and you again, it's too far away for you to really make out all the details. But one of the creatures, the beasts that are being ridden, just disappears all of a sudden. It's just 1 second it's there, and then it's gone, and then the worm retracts back down into its hole, and the little dots continue traveling.
Yeah, Blackstar. How does Tael Noro protect itself?
defense.
Right, I meant from people coming to Tael Noro. There's no help. You just have to figure out your own way in there.
Yeah, what? Why would we help people?
I don't know. People that have traveled to Hyalus have the Titans to help protect them.
Those things protect people?
They don't attack them, so
That's not true either. I feel like I've heard plenty of stories of people from Tael Noro going to Hyalus and being attacked outright by these giant,
did they
monstrous...
attack them?
That's not important.
Okay. From my experience, we've only fought monsters that seem to be a threat to Hyalus. I could be remembering wrong, but
No, you're probably not. They probably did attack them. You're probably not wrong. But this is our thing. No, these people don't know about this Caldero. This is us now, Garen. We're best friends here.
the guy who keeps talking smack about my great city, yeah, we're best of friends.
Look, as far as I'm concerned, there's only one city. But if you're talking about the best cities of this caldera, then yes, it's the two of us. And now all the other cities are whack, as they say.
Hmm.
You might be on the opposite end of where I'm from, but the caldera is ours, friend.
I agree.
This is home pride. Look, Zat, and I overtly gestured towards Xander. Some people wouldn't know about what's happening here.
Hmm. Are those people still like? Did they get caught, or they're safe because they lost one creature? Like if I look back.
Oh, you're asking me. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Sorry.
It looks like they are just continuing on their way. The creatures caught up to the other dots that were traveling across, and it looks like now they're riding together. Whether they could be fighting each other while they're side by side, but there's just like so much dust being kicked up from them riding across the desert floor. You really can't tell. It does look like they're heading they were in a northern direction and they're heading south.
Oh, okay.
You smell that? That's the caldera. You're welcome, everyone.
Yeah, welcome. I mean, it's gonna be a little uncomfortable if you're not comfortable with heat, but you'll get used to it.
Yeah, you'll be fine. Grow some flame out of your heads. It's fine.
Yeah.
Time to pull out them fancy clothes y'all got ready. Well, I guess it's just you at this point, Xander.
You said me?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. Xander cut out. I was like, who? Yeah,
the clothing,
yeah.
the outfit you got ready.
I was thinking I probably need a change.
Yeah, those robes look heavy.
Well, they're. I mean,
Or-
they're not
I think,
robes.
I think the less clothes you have on, the better.
Is everyone going to be naked?
For the record, you know I don't wear robes, right, Alex?
I did not know that. No. Thought you were robed up this whole time.
We got changed before we went to Seor.
Yeah.
Louise, we definitely put on different clothing. But
You guys
I've been
bought,
wearing
like,
that
waterproof
since
stuff
then.
in Rivalry.
Yeah, we bought like waterproof stuff.
Yeah, like spider silk.
Yeah.
Oh.
But yeah, I'm probably gonna have a change of clothing. Maybe once we get in. I mean, this is light-ish, but we'll see. I don't really know how well I burn, honestly.
Oh, there's great places for clothing here. There's like amazing tailors, tinkers, soldiers, spies. Like it's great. This Tael Noro is gonna be great.
If we were going to Hyala's first, my dad could probably make you something.
You guys are making me sick.
Should we go to Hyala's first, then come back to Tael Noro?
I'm sure Hyala's is great. I'm less inclined to believe Tael Noro is great, but I'm getting sick just listening to you two.
What?
We'll get used to it.
For real. I can't wait. You know what? Let's never visit your city then, because I can't. I turn into Xander. I don't feel good. I'm getting sick. Where are you from again?
Wow.
Nick's Ruinum. You keep talking about Nick's Ruinum. Look at all my silver spoons. I turn back into Black Star with a longer Fu Manchu now.
I wonder if does Black Star just think wealth is how many silver spoons you have?
Yes, isn't
An
that
indicator at least?
I don't have any silver spoons. I wish I did. People would, but I'd probably get robbed here. So it's.
Didn't you grab a bunch of silverware from that mansion when we were in there?
Yeah.
Did you forget about that?
No, I did forget.
Could have had some silver spoons.
How hot is it right now where we're standing?
So I was about to say that I was waiting for the time. So where you are right now is like right on the cusp of an arid meets desert, but you're high enough up, like in the mountains, and like on the other side of this, if you were to like climb up and see over, you'd be looking at the forest south of River, right? So it's temperate. It's not super hot. It's a little warmer than now, because you were in like a tropical, relatively like jungle-ish type area, so it's maybe a little less humid. It's a little more dry here, but you do know that Blackstar and Razir know that it's pretty toasty inside of Tael Noro. There's not great ventilation at all. There's a lot of smoke, a lot of heat in there, and those metal walls like just soak up all the sun and just radiate it. Like people, put your hand against it, you're gonna burn at some point during the day.
Yeah. Defense is not
there's gonna be just a constant breeze around Clovis. Breeze of air.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's a sure way to get robbed. And Blackstar is like,
I'm just gonna put my hair up.
I can't wait to get into the city. I'm gonna go think about this, and I just walk back towards the puddle jumper. This is so fun, and I'm humming and whistling to myself, the spring in my step.
He's 100% going into the city before us, isn't he?
Good chance.
I don't care.
Although he might, I don't know if he's going to want to miss the opportunity to show us around, so he might not.
Well, he might go and then come back. I don't know. I don't care.
Jeez. We need to get him back into the air if he's going to be this spicy.
All right, let's go set up some. If we're not going to sleep in the jumper, let's go set up some coverage for camp.
All right,
Okay.
we head back.
Fire? No fire?
Yeah, Black Star's already got a fire going by the time everybody gets back.
I mean, before we go to bed, I'll drop the tiny hut. But seeing as though we have probably a couple hours before we're going to bed, I'll wait to drop it. And until then, you'll all see Xander, while he's kind of isolating himself, have a sudden look of realization and go and scrounge through his bag and pull out the book. And immediately crack it open.
Okay.
I don't know how anyone could be so excited to read one of those things.
Are you at the end of the time? So it's time to start reading it?
I think so. I mean, you said 4 hours ago we had...
Say 5 hours ago now. We'll say it's 5 o'clock.
Yeah, so, I mean, you said we were like... we're halfway into the second day-ish, so maybe I have like 3 hours until I can start. But I only had 2 days left on it, and we were halfway into the second day. So it's up to you, but I will start tonight. I will start during this long rest.
Xander has a midnight release he's looking forward to.
Yeah, I have a midnight release.
At 11:39 p.m., it is eligible to begin reading.
Okay, so then I will just kind of hang out and kick my feet and wait as I sit on a log.
Do you have a point inside the exhaustion ring to burn?
I have 3.
Haven't you been stocking those up?
During the downtime, I stocked them, and that way I didn't have to worry about it.
He was prepared, just like a wizard would be.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nerd.
So you set up a fire.
Yes, Black Star makes a fire.
Okay. So there's
Fine.
Wouldn't that allow people to see us?
smoke trail in the sky.
But then if Zender's
Black
doing
Star
the
is-
hut, we don't need, because it's temperate in the hut. Doesn't get cold or hot.
Yeah.
Black Star did it for aesthetic purposes, not because
Yeah, I'm
it's
not
cool.
making the hut yet.
Yeah, it's later.
It's later because it only lasts for 8 hours.
I created before anyone gets there. If someone says something to Black Star, then he will shut it down. But it's a magical fire. Does it create a smoke trail? It's not burning it. It's not burning from anything. It's create bonfire. Oh. Create a bonfire on the ground that you can see within range. I guess it would still burn the dirt. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, I don't think we want to notify people that we're up
I
here.
believe there's a smoke open.
No fire?
Maybe later.
I'll say that
I
it
just-
does create smoke.
Right now, I'm just concerned that people will see us next to the town where crime is legal, essentially.
All right, well, Black Star stops concentrating and the fire just dies. Like, I'm still excited. We're about to go into Tael Noro. Can you believe it?
So one more night, Black Star.
I would
Like
like
you go on Disneyland.
I would like Chris and Jay and Felix to please roll d20s.
Random d20s, huh? No modifiers.
Please
No
tell us there's a
modifiers.
sandworm.
He's
I
making
wanna
you
fight
guys
a
do his
sand-
dirty work.
Oh.
You don't want to roll high on this number.
Okay.
Ah,
13's not that.
Middle
use
of the
bardic
road.
inspiration, Alex.
To reduce the number.
No,
No, force
increase
it.
it. I want a
Make it
sandworm.
worse.
So I got the three numbers. Okay, cool. 10,
Over
13, and 4.
27.
Yep, nice. Okay. All right. Sounds good. So, fire was set up. It's no longer set up, and the group settles in. Is there anything you wanted to do? We can fast forward even a couple of hours to like when you're about to take your long rest if you want to. The sun goes down and starts getting cold.
Yeah, just stuck
Which
people
way does the
like
sun go in this world? Is it east to west still? I forget if we
East to west.
addressed that. Okay, so we would have sun. The sun would set earlier because we're up close to the mountain.
When the fire goes out, Blackstar will just lay on the puddle jumper's ramp, and pluck away idly, practicing, and mumble to him, "I'm gonna play it Black Hole Sun so hard, I'm gonna hit them they won't even remember. Oh, they'll be out. Oh, it's gonna be crazy."
It's been a while hearing him plucking away. I'll pull out my harmonica and play a bit.
I'll tap on my drum.
I love that harmonica.
Oh, we got a band.
Yeah, I started playing drum, or like the little thing at while we were still at Sayor.
Yeah, you did.
The bongos?
The hand drums.
Hand
drums.
Did you buy those, or did you?
I remember
always had them?
it was. No, I didn't always have them. I can't remember how I got them. I just remember that was part of my downtime in terms of either acquiring it or being
that's right.
given
Didn't
it.
I?
Because
didn't
sang.
I find things for you? You
Yeah.
asked me to get something for you.
Oh, I think that's what it was. Get a drum for me. I don't know if you did, so I might not have it yet.
No, I did. I certainly would have, because then we played together.
I know I sang a song to you.
I absolutely would have stolen
So good.
immediately for you.
It was so.
But I don't remember exactly.
Well, then, then I'll say we'll make it official. After the fire goes out and I'm playing for a minute, and then Razir starts by stopping it. Garen, hey, Garen, come here.
Oh, sorry.
Bless you. What's up?
I forgot that you had asked me because of all the things that we've been doing. But here, and I pull out some hand drums, and you can see a crudely drawn orc face on it. And then on the other side, it's just like a rock. And it almost looks like a poo, but it's a rock. I stole this for you. I mean, I found this for you.
Yeah, I remember I told you to not tell me that you stole it.
Right, I remembered that as well, but I didn't steal it, I found it.
Okay. Well, thanks. Now I can hopefully get good enough before I show myself to my mom and then maybe play her something, or play her the only song I know.
No, well, I mean, we can, but we said we'd play. We can practice a little bit tonight, and then Razir plays as well. He's played with me, and then not like that. Then in Tael Noro, we can. I have a place that I've played that we could visit, and then you could at least do backup drums, get a little confidence.
Yeah, let's give that a shot. I just, if anyone looks at me funny, just know that I will deck them.
Garen, you
if they make fun of me because I'm just expressing myself, you said anything really goes in this place. So yeah, I won't be more dramatic than I'm saying I will be, but I will definitely hit someone if they're just making fun of me.
That's all right. You know, like I told you before, you have to let it out. You just have to feel it. You know, you are in time with the earth. Like I notice on the ground, you're a lot less spicy. But just feel the earth and let the earth come into you, and then put it through the drum and put it back out into the world, just in a different way.
I'll give that a shot.
It'd be good for you.
I'm gonna go practice. Oh, actually, I don't need to go anywhere. I'll just sit down next to wherever you are, but not inside.
No, I'm on the ramp. I got my feet on the ground also.
Okay. And I'm just gonna sit on the ground and tap away, trying to sync up to whatever you're doing, if you're actually playing something.
Yeah. So as you tap away, I don't play as strong, and then as you get more confident, I will play for you to match what you're doing. And then with Razir hooting away on his harmonica.
Cool.
I would like all three of you to make a performance check, please.
Yeah, come on, Garen, first kind of show. Or is it?
Ooh, nice.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh yeah.
Boo, Black Star, you suck.
Like Star's back up right now.
Let's see Black Star's roll. Having to like tab back and forth between
Massive
maps.
bonus. Lowest
to get
of
to it.
rolls the lowest.
I'm playing backup for you guys.
Yeah,
I'm not overpowering this
Yeah.
one.
He's supporting us.
Yeah, you guys are pretty into it, and Garen, holds his own. And I will say, Garen, this, like, you've never been in this exact spot before, but the feel of your feet on the ground in a stone environment with sand around, Hyalus isn't a dirty place. They don't let the sand get into the city, essentially, and it's cleaned so often that you'd have to like go out into the dunes to even remember that there's sand out there unless you were just looking out the front at it. But this feels pretty homey. Like this is, pretty close to home. You can essentially see Hyalus from here.
Yeah, I tend to spend most of my time toward where the stone golems are anyway, so this is probably more comforting to me than just being inside the city.
Yep.
Yeah, that's probably why I got such a good performance check. If we were in the sky, it would have been nothing. It would have been negative probably.
Exactly.
Fun.
Yeah. Guys played for a bit and kind of get in the groove, practice a bit. Blackstar trying to do background stuff, ends up doing a little bit of a solo, and you just kind of look at him a bit. He just can't help himself. And but it's nice and it's cozy, and Xander's preparing to read. And I was
gonna ask a question about music in general. Like, not to say that I'm necessarily well versed in music, but like, how is there like, are there like celebrities and stuff that are like widely known to the populace in the same way that there are in the real world? Like, are there songs that almost everybody knows? Like, is there a pop music?
There's this one guy called Count Majestic. Everybody knows about him.
I'm still standing better than I ever did.
So think of Count Majestic as Elton John, in a world where if Elton John was in The Walking Dead, and there's nobody else really focusing on music. I mean, there's some bards around. There's some people that travel around. They make money, but
I get
nobody is prolific as Count Majestic is. He's probably the only one who's world known. As much as Blackstar would like to be that,
and he
is
still standing better than he ever did.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
he's out there doing the crocodile rock somewhere.
Hopefully, there's somebody impersonating him, so we don't know if he's actually standing anymore. But anyway, okay.
Cool question.
Murder to commit.
So while that's going on, what's Darrow doing?
Darrow feeling his entire world upside down for no reason whatsoever. Nothing shocking or big has happened in the past
Not at all.
24 hours at all. Is I know this sounds boring, but he's like wherever the path comes up to where we are, he's standing there. He's like on guard's duty. He's like, I don't understand what's going on. The one thing I can do is be a soldier and be a guard, and so he's just kind of like chilling there. But he's also like, he's taking it serious, but he's also kind of looking at his sword and the name that he's now scratched into it, and just thinking about the situation. He's like, kind of just to himself, like what's the plan? Like, he's trying to reach out to her, like trying to get her to like, where are you?
what's the plan? What am I doing? Like, just trying to. If she would have the answers, and so he's trying to get like he knows that he's not going to get in touch with her, like, but there's just that kind of desperation too.
Okay.
And then anytime someone starts to walk over, walls up, and he's like, "Hey, doing fine over here."
No tears at all.
Yeah, can't cry because I'm a robot.
So knowing that you're doing that, go ahead and give me a perception check with disadvantage.
Okay.
Let's go.
Oh man.
But still great.
I can't see the number until I tab back and
18.
It'd be cool to get 2 20s.
18.
Yep.
Okay. Looking down this pathway, it like curves out of sight relatively quickly from like the top where you're standing. You swear, just like ever so faintly, you hear a small rock like tick, 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 somewhere out of sight, kind of like echo up to where you are. But there's all kinds of rocks. There's lots of loose rocks around here. It could be the shifting of the mountain. Because mountains shift, apparently. Mm-hmm.
That is plate tectonics.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna do just a roll here. My own decision making. All right, it was a rock. Just a rock
I mean,
shifting.
it sounded like a rock. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So you stand vigilant. As the sun goes down, the sound of the music behind you. What is Clovis doing?
Just all maybe like hang around Darrow since Darrow right now, since like the other guys are doing their stuff, but like not just like right beside him, like maybe 10-15 feet behind him.
I just envisioned the annoying younger brother. What are you doing?
Yeah, just
What are you
right
doing?
next to him.
Hey, Darrow, what are you
Can I do
doing?
that too? Can I
What are
help?
you looking
Can I
at?
do that too?
Yeah, games on your phone.
That's a cool.
Are there games on your phone?
Hey, Clovis, can you? I'm kind of hungry. Can you go get me a snack?
Doesn't even eat.
All right, I'll go get him a snack.
This guy went hunting once. Thinks he could do it on his own.
Mm-hmm. Doesn't realize that Darrow can't eat food.
Yeah,
No.
right.
Yum! Just smashes it into it.
Okay. We'll kind of speed ahead to where it's about time to take a long rest. The sun has fully gone down at this point. It's not quite 11:39 p.m. It's I don't remember what we said or talked about. It needed to be 12 hours before you could take a long rest. Is that what we said?
Mm-hmm.
So, and around somewhere between 8 and 10 p.m. Somewhere in that neighborhood, we'll say is adequate. I really just don't remember. So it's not really that important. It's not really that important.
That's all right.
So we'll just say it's somewhere in that range. And Xander, you can go ahead and put up the tiny hut if you'd like to.
Yes.
The tiny tut.
Amazing.
Nice.
So as you all gather underneath this, and it's nice, you can see through it. I'm not sure whether or not you have it colored to match the ground, so it's blending in the surrounding area, the stone, but the stars, as there's really no light pollution, and there isn't that much in other places you've been either, except for like in River or in Sayor, there's a lot of light. It is just a sea of stars above that come out relatively quickly, and the moon, and you can even see the dappled gray clouds that are kind of floating by overhead. And any conversations you wanted to be having before the long rest, we will come back to after we take our break. So, jumping back in, the tiny hut is up. You are, I'm assuming, all huddled underneath it, and again, the night sky is above. The whistling sound of wind kind of drifting in over the mountains, and kind of gives it a very peaceful vibe up here in the mountains. You're definitely not as high up as you could be. The peaks of the mountains are much higher than you are currently, but it just feels secluded and private, and it's a sense of comfort knowing that whatever the days ahead hold are probably a little bit more stressful, although Black Star would probably try to convince you otherwise. Maybe.
Not stressful at all. Not at all.
But is there any other conversation that you wanted to have before closing out the evening?
Not from Daryl.
While Black Star's laying there, staring up, you know, when I was being taught by the ever popular, worldly famous Count Majestic, he brought me up here, show me some tunes and teach me some, the ways to express this force inside of me through music. And he said that his teacher, and I never really understood this, but his teacher, man who taught him music, was the first bard ever. And that his notes are what decorate the sky. There's just the force of the energy behind his music was so powerful. Put all these things. We know they're stars, right? Like we're not like cavemen, right? Tim, out of character.
Yeah, I mean, you know they're stars, sure.
Okay. Obviously, they're stars, right? But when I was young, it was just such a powerful thing for him to say, like the freedom of the world. Like music can do anything; it can change things. I'm proof of that. It's just, being here with all of you, my family, and Clovis. It's so nice. And like, it's just, I don't know, it feels good. It feels good to be here. That is just, it's just something that crossed my mind laying here. Me and Count Majestic would come and train and hone our craft. Seems like so long ago. Now I don't even know what he's doing now. I haven't seen him, and then there was an imposter. And I'm worried. You're all asleep, aren't you?
No, I
Xander is
heard
not.
you.
He's wide awake reading this book.
Yeah, I thought you were continuing on with your exposition.
No, I heard you.
I
I'm
don't
just
know.
kind of taking it all in. It's even though you can see the stars kind of from anywhere, it's a entirely different.
What? I mean, yeah, of course you can see them from it. You know how many notes he played? They're everywhere. He taught Count Majestic. Count Majestic toured every city. I mean, he I don't know, he's been everywhere, and his instructor, of course, has been further. And I don't know, when you get to Tael Noro, yes, it's chaos, but the most beautiful music and sounds can be constructed through chaos. Music is it's just vibrations and but controlled, and everything is, I don't know, just the freedom. The chainless are just such a prop. I don't know. I'm having a moment. I'm existential crisis right now. Like, I just look at the stars. They're just so nice, aren't they?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You are all awake. I thought you had fallen asleep again.
I get a group perception check.
Yeah.
Group perception check. I keep looking over here when it's right in front of me.
Let's see if anybody catches Black Star crying.
I'm not crying, you're crying.
I've got sand in my eyes.
No, it turned yours into a 20. But it's yeah, the one talking about the stars is the least perceptive.
Yep, I'm focused.
Has everyone? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Who am I missing?
They're all there.
No, they're all there.
Here,
B2
Chris was first.
all the way
Yep.
through Black Star.
Yeah.
Still got higher.
He got it. B2 got an 8, 22, 10, 20, 16, 7.
You got a natural one though, specifically.
I don't see.
Do you see all of ours though? Not his.
I don't see whoever got a 7.
That's me.
Black Stole.
Okay, well that's fine. So Xander and Razir, as he's saying the stars are beautiful, and looking up at them, one of them is moving.
What?
It is. You've seen shooting stars before. This one's a lot slower, and there's no trail behind it.
Oh my gosh.
One of those menacing shooting stars I've heard so much about.
There's the occasional non-white blink of a very pale green light that comes from this one, but it's obviously way too far away and it's dark. But you can see it, and it's moving across the skyline.
Everybody else see that?
See what? The
Yeah.
stars? Yeah, they're everywhere.
No, the moving one.
Oh, no, I
Moving
guess
star?
like
Is it fast or slow?
No, it's slow. It's not a shooting star.
That's the problem.
How's it moving? Is it moving left to right? Or is it moving at us? Because
Can
that
you
is a
point?
different reaction.
Yeah, what?
Going that way to that way.
Daryl gets
Oh.
up and does the whole like even when someone's pointing, you can't really tell. It kind of just
Yeah,
oh,
oh yeah,
Put
there it is.
your head in between their head and hand. to
Yeah.
try and find it.
yeah. Just
It's
don't
like
mind me.
it's like
receiving-
showing a kid where something is. You gotta like take their face and point.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, perspective from the ground to something that far away in the sky can be a little bit tough as far as like orientation, a little. It looks like maybe it's way off to the east. So, like just past the mountain range, like over the kind of crosses over past the tip of one, disappears, comes out the other side, and continues. It could be going north.
Oh, it's
It could-
lower. Okay.
It could be going north. It could be going west. Could be going northwest. Kind of hard to tell.
Could other people have flying vehicles like us?
I mean, at this point, likely.
Yeah.
Well, what if it's the chainless?
I mean, we can't do anything about it right now.
I mean, how far away
Where are they
they?
going, though? That's my main concern.
Well, just one of the great mysteries, I suppose. I don't think our puddle jumper can make it up there in time where it would matter.
All right. I don't want to move anyways. I'm comfortable.
Am I still sleeping with Garen?
No, I'm just laying on my back. I mean, if you're on my chest, it's one thing, but I'm like laying down,
Don't
looking
mess
at the
me up.
stars. Blackstar, how does one get, I guess, kicked out of a gang in Tael Noro?
I'm not sure. They probably did something that the gang didn't approve of. Sometimes people get a bit ambitious on like a job or a heist and take the wrong things, generate too much heat, cross another gang or a more power. A lot of the times it's in the lower factions, well, but also in the higher levels, it's just not performing well enough or bungling a job. Like it's chaos and there's, crime, but there's like a there's like a very precarious balance that is kept as well
Hmm.
between everyone. And so like, obviously we can't have a city and all this stuff if there's complete anarchy all the time. So, it's like it's hard to explain to someone not from Tael Noro. It's like its own special place. And we have people that come from out of the area, and sometimes they can be quite influential or dangerous. And so, you know, uh, I heard there was a member of one of the gangs that had been sent on a heist. And sometimes you don't know who the people that give the jobs are, sometimes. There's a lot of collectors and like strange antiquities that you can find in town or simply because we've amassed such riches and a lot of paranoia, but there's something was stolen, but then after it was stolen, the master thief, most handsome thief, realized that it was for the chainless and just was like, no, I don't support that. And so they absconded with it and ran off to, Beacon.
Yeah. Well, sounds like a brave. Hmm, I'll just say it sounds like
Handsome.
someone brave. No, I'm gonna
And
stick with
very
brave.
handsome.
Just brave.
He was brave and
Brave person
handsome. He
to
was
go against the
probably,
chainless.
oh, absolutely. And he was probably fairly, deft with a blade, a little bit of magic, probably. Most
Wasn't
beautiful
B2?
flame hair, probably.
Oh.
If someone were to be kicked out of a gang, could they be in Tal Noro safely?
Yes.
And I don't find a lot of confidence in
Uh,
your words, but the
you,
reason I ask is because one of my companions used to live, at least from what he told me, that he used to live in Tal Noro, and
I
he
mean,
was removed from a gang, which is why he ended up with me.
yeah, you could if you return to the city and pay your due, or I mean, you could even defect to another gang. Although then, you're always questioned. It's a bit. People are paranoid enough that you might end up with a knife in your back anyway. So I mean, it's a tough call. If you have like a 25,000 gold bounty, and you pay it off, then more than likely, with hope, they'll take you back and everything will be forgiven. But
Hmm.
How much?
not important.
But
Yeah, I
it
don't.
also begs the question: are you ever safe, even if you don't have a bounty? So,
But you're safer because you have the protection of the gang. Like a lot of the time, you'll know that someone's in a specific gang and you don't want to cross them. Now, if you're good enough though, and you do cross them and then they don't really know, that's honestly like a little bit of glory involved. It's very take them off on the sneak.
What about kids in Tal Noro? Like, are they protected since they're much younger?
They're like, do kids get stabbed?
Well, that's not what I'm asking, but it
kids
is
do
kind of what
most
I'm
of the
asking.
stabbing, actually.
Kids do a fair bit of stabbing. As a child from Tael Noro, I can tell you, people get stabbed
Wait, no,
in their
that's a good
youth.
question. Are child usually left alone, or
Left alone? I mean,
yeah, are
most of the time, there's a number of,
are
families and stuff.
does someone have a shaving razor?
A shaving razor.
Oh, I see.
I'm gonna cut my beard.
Oh, I see. You'd like to be seen as a child so you don't get stabbed.
Yes.
I mean, you might get stabbed by the children gangs.
Wait, so there's also children?
That's
Uh,
funny.
some of the best gangs start out together as children, and as long as they all don't get stabbed collectively, then
Collective. Wait, so
one
does
time
that
I
mean that the
saw.
spell Cloud of Daggers is really popular in Tael
Oh,
Noro?
no, I knew there was a child mage or sorcerer who could do cloud. He was feared in the Narrows for quite some time. You couldn't catch him in an alley because then you'd have, a cloud of daggers in and around your person. Um,
That doesn't sound pleasant.
no, no, it wasn't. Not for little Johnny Two Hands.
There are more people in Tael Noro that are not in gangs than there are that
Correct.
are in gangs. So there's a lot of quote unquote normal, I don't know if I use that word very loosely, normal people.
It's like people who live in like crime parts of the city. They don't necessarily do crime, but they understand.
Crime parts?
Yeah, like in Baltimore, I'd
Yeah,
use it as
inside the walls,
yeah, inside the walls.
the crime
Like-
parts. Yeah.
In the city.
Yeah, in the city, you see a shooting, but it doesn't mean like all the people were involved. You know what I mean? Like not everyone's a criminal, but there are families who live in Baltimore that aren't active. And they just get by because they know the rules and they don't get stabbed.
Yeah. It's very infrequently that the normal people, unless they step out of line from their daily activities, there is very high level trading that goes on in Tael Noro. So that is something that Blackstar would know, and I don't know whether or not he would share that with the group, but there is one of the highest levels of not a black market necessarily, but it's wide and open and free for anybody to come in and do business there. But some of the highest value items like in the world are dealt with in Tael Noro specifically. And it's like, you have a troop of individuals, like 30 bodyguards that are very well paid that transport it in to be maybe auctioned or whatever the case is there. And it's understood that unless you're really dumb, you're not going after a high target like that unless you're paid tens or hundreds of thousands of gold to go after something like that. So, there's some high level stuff and normal activities. It's like a drunk who was a normal person, but then at night got really drunk and decided to do something stupid and then get stabbed in the alleyway kind of situation.
Correct. Yeah.
There's a lot of that going on.
I mean, actually, there's a place that Xander would probably really like. And I've never been there, but I've heard there's like this vast underground library. But you can't just go in and look at things. Like typically there's a price of like knowledge for knowledge. So like to get in, you have to give them something equally valuable for it. They're like, I don't know, probably some of the best spies and I don't know, anywhere, honestly. There's a lot of fun things like having to stab people regularly to get better and survive. I mean, it ends up creating some very interesting people. And then once you get high enough that you no longer fear being stabbed, you master your craft and there are a lot of nice things that you just, we have a bad rap and so you don't go, but there are some pretty pennies to be found within the walls of defense.
I'll give that a look. Check that out.
You should just don't let them take you to any rooms by yourself and steal all the knowledge from your mind at once. When Johnny Two Hands, well, Johnny One Hand at that point got older. he ran into some problems there.
The lore of Johnny Two Hands is just
After that he was Johnny One Hand No Mind, but he was still good for a few things.
Noted.
Did he run with Shoeless Joe Jackson?
He did. You knew Shoeless Joe? Impressive.
All
You're
right.
gonna run into a character in town just called Sad Johnny, and this is just his backstory, his origin story. All these names he's gone
Johnny the
through.
Lump. He's lost like 2 limbs.
Real
How are
freaking
you
mean,
alive?
offensive name for him. Johnny the Lump.
Johnny the Lump.
All right, I'm going to bed.
Poor door.
All right. Good night, Garen. But yes, Clovis, kids can get stabbed, but there's a lot of normal people, so don't worry.
Mid shave. All right.
Do you shave off your beard?
Yeah.
No.
Does he actually look younger, or does he just now look like a gnome without a beard?
No, without a beard.
Yeah, but Clovis, looking younger, buddy.
I mean, I am kind of young for a gnome. I guess like mid. I look like mid-teens for a gnome.
But I feel like you still like, because a gnome still distinctly looks different than just
Yeah.
Right?
a child.
Yeah, with like
Gnomic.
big ears, bigger head. and
Yeah,
like,
just like, yeah. You. That was the problem. The beard. That's how everyone told you
He's a
apart.
human child with gnomism.
Gnomism.
It's a disease affecting 1 in 5 children.
Do you all settle in, or was there anything else you wanted
I'm gonna
to
do a little fiddling with some stuff to try and make something while we're sitting around. Because again, I only have to rest for half the night.
Whose razor was that? I forget. If somebody owned it.
Nope. I don't have one.
Oh, okay.
He's using his fingernails.
You know what? No, actually, cloud of daggers.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Kinda stick your chin up to where the edge
Johnny, no!
What?
Johnny no chin.
Bleeding.
Johnny no chin. The legend continues. Black Star's gonna go to sleep, but try to wake up sometime in the night. Maybe like an hour or 2 after everyone else goes to bed.
Okay.
2 people will not be sleeping.
I will not be asleep.
Okay.
3 people would not be
Sanders
sleeping.
reading.
That's
Does Clovis go to sleep?
Yep.
Okay. Xander's reading. Garen goes to bed. Black Star is currently sleeping. What is it that you were fiddling with to work on?
making like with a little bit of twine or rope and any of the dry grass or brush around to make a little kind of like hand brush. Nothing fancy, but you could do a little brushing off of something
Sure.
if need be.
Like paleontologist?
I'm gonna ask you to
Kinda.
roll to make this thing, but it's not gonna be
Sure.
just because it's fun. Just a dexterity check. Even if you roll a natural one, hey, the rolls are coming through now. That's cool. Awesome.
Nice.
I actually refreshed. So, yeah, easy enough to do. There's, there's some dried grass. There's, you probably have some twine or some string or something, and you're able to cobble something together. No problem.
Cool.
Any particular purpose? Just to have a little brush?
Yeah. At some point during the night. Hey, Dare, are you active right now?
Yeah.
Here, and I'll toss it to him. Made you that. The rest of us don't really got the. You got your joints are weird, so I don't know how the sand's gonna bother you. So I made you that just in case, so you can clean out your wrist or knee or whatever.
I didn't even think about that. Thanks, Razier. That's how nice of you.
Yeah.
Never been given a gift in his
Hat
life.
down.
Yeah.
He's so fragile right now.
Yeah.
No, balls up.
Like externally, he's just sitting there blank, like not moving, but inside he's bawling. You can't tell.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So we'll just minorly expedite this. I don't think anybody needs to keep watch except for Razir and Darrow, because you only need half the night each, right? So you just kind of take turns. Thing with there not being
and
two
this
of
time, you. Xander's up now too for this night.
But Xander's reading, so he would be doing. I mean, I guess he can. Sure. You can't give.
Might hear stuff.
Maybe. I'll say he can't give Darrow advantage, but he would roll by himself at disadvantage. So, so I'll ask both of you to roll perception checks, please.
Sure, why not?
And you can have Xander roll twice with disadvantage, and then Razir is going to roll his own for the second watch just to get the rolls out of the way.
Yep, I did.
Okay, just get one more from Xander.
Yeah, those are bad. That makes sense.
He's reading.
He is locked in on. Finally, he gets to read the book. He's locked in on it.
Nothing else exists in his world.
So for Darrow, up on, like, say 3 hours into your watch, you see up on one of the mountain ridges kind of framed by the star line. It's pretty far up and it's pretty far away, but it's like a silhouette of something small, maybe a person that's really far away. You can't really tell from this distance. Just kind of like making their way up the side of a ridge on the mountainside. Could be hundreds of feet away, could be more.
Okay. I'll make note of that spot for in the morning.
Okay. Cool. Pass off to Razir. It eventually goes up and like disappears out of sight, like maybe around a corner or something. Just it's not visible anymore. You mentioned it to Razir.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
I figured we live on the rules of even if something didn't truly happen, if there's something, we just pass it along.
Sure. Cool.
Also, you can just like while you're watching, you can say it because we're both still conscious while we're doing our rest.
True.
Gotcha.
Weird thing.
Mm-hmm. So Razir goes to complete the rest of the watch, and only about an hour later, what B2 or what Darrow had pointed out, similar thing comes back down and then pauses in the middle and remains stationary there. And at a certain point, like a few minutes go by and you're like, is it still there? It's kind of like hard to see. And then 10-15 minutes later, it continues on down the ridge and out of sight.
How far about did you say?
You can't really tell. I mean, it could be hundreds of feet away. It's like a little smudge that's moving. It's like a person. Maybe it's an animal. You're not sure, but there's
not
activity.
Within 150 feet.
It's definitely not within 150 feet. No.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember the stupid vision that you have.
Just checking,
yes,
just
I'm aware.
Just checking.
But yeah, the rest of the evening goes by. You do not level up.
Oh man.
Yeah, so you get your long rest except for Xander, who takes a point of exhaustion.
I'm gonna burn one off of the book. I mean the ring.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, the sun eventually comes up, and even in the morning, early hours of the morning, when you are getting up, it isn't super bright where you are because you're hidden by the mountains, so it's still shaded. Feels like earlier morning than it actually is. Recovering all your what are you rolling for?
Stuff with my blood moon orb.
Okay, blood moon orb. Cool.
Yep.
The tiny hut fades, and the morning is yours. There is not any dew that covers anything. It is still fairly dry. It's kind of cool, kind of cold. Maybe in the mid 50s. Only Felix doesn't know what that means. And
Early 50s, so halfway to boiling, right?
It's like what, 18
Yeah, it's probably
Celsius or
probably
somewhere around
about
there.
probably more like
24.
between
23.8 Celsius.
That's pretty good.
Oh,
I'm
55 is 12.
Oh,
Yeah, I was gonna say it's probably more
Okay.
between like 10, 15.
okay, gotcha.
So not bad.
So, yeah, there you go. Well, I had no idea.
There's no way to interpret that, anyways, so it's fine.
Exactly.
Nonsense number.
Yep. Nonsense number. Okay, so it's the morning.
Are we ready?
The day is yours.
Yeah, I could get some. I want some food. What's the
This
food like in
guy's
Tael Noro?
Disguise wise, seeming lasts for 8 hours. I could do it 2 times a day, maybe more if I spend some of my magical energy.
Oh.
Uh,
I don't need anything like that.
yeah,
I'll take care
it'll be
of
good.
myself. I feel like maybe if we run into trouble, we can use it. But
Yeah,
I say
use it
we
as like a
approach.
we stay as we are, and if we need to, then we.
Yeah, do a bit of putting on, taking off hats, and putting on a bandana, changing coats and whatnot, just a rough look change, and then if we need to, yeah, you got your magic.
Historically, Tael Noro has never been a fan of the chainless. They just don't. They give, you know, restriction and binding.
Yeah,
So
I think it's more of once we find out where the spot glove is within the city, because they're the ones we're really worried about.
I mean, I know where they are.
I mean,
Depending on the
since
cycle.
you left, they've been more involved with the chainless, so we've heard. So who knows
True, but
how the rest of the town's looking at them.
But I mean, yeah, they might be having some issues, but I don't think the council or even, the ruler would.
The
I
boss.
don't think it would. Yeah, the boss. The boss. He wouldn't let that happen. I don't. There would have to be something dramatic. And the city looked normal yesterday, right, Garen? You didn't see anything crazy happening in there?
No, not from what I saw.
It's
Still
only
something to
been.
keep in mind.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So seeming, if we need it, would certainly get us out of a jam. But all right, well, I mean, we let's go. Let's go. Xander, just hold on to someone's coattail while you're reading if you want to walk, or I don't know if you want to get on someone Garen's back, or he can carry you like a princess if you want.
I can walk and read. I think I just need somebody to
Yeah.
guide me.
I'll summon Sparrow. You can ride him.
Wouldn't that draw a
Yeah.
lot of attention
No, I
in
mean
a
it
town
should.
where we don't want attention drawn to us?
No, a spectral horse. That's not going to be that crazy. Like you can't
Ain't even
steal that
spectral.
sort of thing.
Yeah, but one quick thing. Have you seen that book? It looks expensive.
True, but at the same time, I feel like at least in the Narrows, people won't be so concerned about a book as much as like
Not even to resell.
shiny bits and bobs. Maybe. I mean, he's
I
with us
mean,
right now.
I can also put it away once we get into town. Sorry, I'm getting distracted while I'm reading.
Really?
I can put it away. Like I just need to do this within like a week. So I've already put in a good chunk of time. If I have to put it away, I'll put it away.
I mean, how long is it going to take you to read that thing?
Probably another 2 days.
All right, so a week is plenty of time then.
All right.
It's true.
Well, I'm hungry. Let's
What
go.
did you mark off, Jason? 8 hours?
Yeah, about yeah, 8 hours.
Okay. Cool.
It's 60 hours total.
For, is,
It takes 48 hours.
Yeah, 48.
48,
Yeah, I thought so.
So if I read it whenever we have downtime, I think I'll easily get that. It's over the course of 6 days. Even if I do it every long rest over the course of 6 days, that'll get me there. So
Yeah, that's not difficult. Okay. What is everyone wearing?
My beat up chainmail I stole from Chainless. It's
But
like too big for me, so like kids with like big shirt, kind of that. And my backpack, but I have like not a like kind of a cloak over it, so it just looks like I'm a humpback.
Okay. Razir standard clothes. Nothing out
I'll
of the ordinary.
swap out for my other outfit, my more generic traveler clothes that I have.
Any unique colorations to that? There's no green.
Nope,
Black?
it's like neutral colors. It's like
that's
browns
right.
and
That's
tans or
what I
grays or
meant
whatever.
to ask yesterday before we went to bed. I got up and I totally forgot that I wanted to ask this up to Black Star. Are there any colors or symbols we should be avoiding?
I mean, none of you know the gang symbol, so I wouldn't be concerned about that. I don't think you're gonna accidentally replicate one of the symbols of the gangs. And then, as far as colors, are there?
There's just not a whole lot of bright
No.
colors. Yeah, there's like the occasional red, bright green, bright blue, but only on people of station within certain gangs. Anybody who's dressed in any kind of royal attire would obviously draw attention. It's mostly everybody. It's not like everybody's in rags, but everybody's in neutral browns, red. There's a lot of dust out here, and there is a lot of blood. And you would know that the reason that the walls are red, even though there's a city called Redwall, this one is red because it is either rust, but more primarily is blood. Long dried blood that is just mixed in with the rust over decades at this point.
yeah, I'm not changing. Just gonna wear what I always wear, that kilt that I don't know the last time it's been washed.
But we can smell it. Darrow's wearing his cape and the straw hat, but it's, if you recall, he's walked through a wall of fire, so the cape is like kind
Yeah.
of burnt and has patches, and even that the straw hat didn't catch too much, but definitely has some charredness to it. And I would say even B2 has like some charred metal towards definitely around his legs and whatnot. So he just kind of looks a little more beat up of a Warforged.
So everywhere you've gone thus far, only because you were saying, Chris, and it kind of jogged my memory. So Blackstar would, and probably Razir would be able to convey that Warforged are not uncommon necessarily in Tael Noro. You've not seen any at all, except for B2 and Uranus. So they're uncommon in most parts of the world, but they are occasionally seen in Tael Noro. But what you do know, and you would relate, is that they are, because of what they are, there's a lot of, I don't want to say unintelligent, maybe just misinformed people, that they're like robots that can be maybe taken and like reprogrammed to be like servants or whatever, like bodyguards. So that's a common misconception in Tael Noro.
I did not inform B2 of this. I would have kept that to myself for laughs.
That might have been outside of what I would know
Probably.
for Tael Noro, yeah.
I don't want B2 to Darrow to stab anyone for looking at him funny, but I'll keep an eye out.
Like he's gonna catch some looks. Not all of them will be nefarious, but some of them will most definitely be.
Yeah, and I think B2 is more subconscious about like, oh, he's a robot in space. Well, Darrow is just like, I'm here. It's like,
Almost like he
He's not.
forgets that he's in a metal body.
Right? I was just
Yeah.
about to say that he probably forgets sometimes. Until he tries to eat.
So
Yeah.
Xander,
I'm gonna put the Solium capacitor in the bag of holding while I'm thinking about it. That's something that I feel like could easily get snagged, and
Does it
I
blow
don't
up?
want that getting snagged. As we get closer, I will cast Disguise Self, since it doesn't seem like we're doing any seaming. But like the spider silk clothes, what color are they?
like, um, that's a great question. I think it was like white interwoven with some green.
Yeah.
So definitely a little brighter.
Yeah,
For sure.
I'll do a disguise self, and because I also know that there's wanted posters up, I will give myself a buzz cut, with brown eyes, like a maroon bandana, and like white button down, and like a brown overcoat, like trench coat, and rock that until we can get in and I'll buy actual clothes.
Andrew's in his grudge phase. God.
Oh, dude. Well, that's why I was about to ask for a razor yesterday. I was actually going to give him a buzz cut. That's actually going to happen.
Wow.
All right.
And then Garen's kilt is green, right?
Uh,
Or do I have that wrong?
so I just let's see if I wrote it. I think it was just the combination of red and green. Let's see.
Everybody goes to the homepage. Oh, it's not
Yeah.
there.
Yeah,
It's
I
not
No,
there.
no, I'm going to my notes. 'Cause that's where I actually described my dad making it.
Are you wearing a kilt?
Yes,
Yeah,
it's
he's always
like
been.
I've always had it.
Hmm.
But it's like armored slightly, or like it's hard to explain.
Like studded.
Scotland forever.
I quote
Uh,
that too often.
Let's see. I have the picture that you had the AI create for yourself. It is green and red.
yeah, okay, that's what I remembered. And it's
So-
written down here too. Green and red.
Be a little bit out of the ordinary. And to clarify, if you think of like maybe not even Mad Max, but just like I want to say like the Star Wars the Cantina, where there's just like weird outfits
Yeah.
that people are wearing. Like there's that. It's pretty common. So it's not just that there aren't bright colors, mostly muted colors, but people will have like hands for pauldrons and just like weird body horror type things about them. Like there'll be necklaces with teeth and maybe other dried eyeballs and just weird things. Not all of it, but a lot of the gang stuff you'll see people dress weird. So that kind of thing doesn't stand out like a sore thumb.
Mhm.
Um,
If I dirtied it, would that help?
Probably.
Then I will do that. I will.
You have somebody in your party that can prestidigitation, should you wish. You have two people that can do it.
Dirty.
Yep.
Dirty. Dirty.
Awesome.
Wait. We need to keep the smell. The smell of home.
And then last but certainly not least, I need very specifically to know what it is that Black Star is wearing and what he looks like.
Black Star, of
Mm.
course, will change himself. He is now an elf, about the same height as he normally is, but he's got like a red kind of mohawk type thing working around the back. Instead of his normally ostentatious black and red with roses and gold plating or pleating, he will go for a deep violet, like almost midnight, like dark purple. And he knows he shouldn't, but he can't help himself. He just can't. And so it's like a dark purple blouse, and then his pants are black. He's got on a pair of high traveling boots. He makes Grignac look like a rapier, and he's got his ears are almost pointed like hyperbole, like very long pointed ears. He almost looks fey elf, like fey touched or something. And and then
World of Warcraft level long
type.
ears.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. That's exactly what I'm thinking of. And then his blouse has ruffles, and then ruffles on the end of the sleeves, and then in the ruffles on the sleeves are like small light blue flower designs, like roses that like each ruffle has one on the end of it. That's right.
Sounded like a Prince outfit.
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm thinking of. And then he's just got like a necklace, like a short necklace of knuckle bones around his neck. Looks like knuckle bones. There's no real knuckle bones. And then on his left hand is in a glove, and there's a skull on the top of his left hand glove. It's a black glove. So got a little bit, and then like a giant scar, looks like a lightning bolt across David Bowie style. It's like a
Okay.
There's Bowie, Prince, and Jackson all mixed together.
exactly.
Do
Man.
your gloves have any studs or spikes on them?
No, not right now. Although I did consider it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll. I feel like Blackstar would like. You know what? Yes, the little, very small spikes, just little ones. Hard. They're black, so they're like they kind of black, but they're there. He knows where he's from. He knows who he reps. He's back home.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. You all make your way down the pathway, kind of weaving in between rocks and boulders, and there's. Oh,
We were
did I miss
we
something?
were going to go east, basically dodge the path, go east to approach the city from the northeast. So do a bit of mountain trekking.
Okay. It's very cliffy here, so there would be some very precarious making your way down from this spot.
Making my way.
It would be the only easy, well, not even really easy, but it's very steep. Everything around you is very steep. It's not impossible. It would be easier to go down the other side of the mountain and down into the forest south of River, but of course that's not what you're going to do. I'll just
Just as far away from this path that we can get, so that it's not obvious that we came from that location to the people who would know it's there.
I understand what you're saying, and completely. My vision for this is that it's not like there's no other way to get down. It's just not. It is the way that it is because this is the way people come up here, right?
Right.
In a safe manner. So sure, it's gonna involve.
I mean,
some...
if it's not feasible,
no, it's feasible. You have rope. You have the ability to climb down. There will be a fair amount of that, and it will take you 3 times as long to get down. But it's possible.
It's an hour and a half. How badly do we want to do that? Or do we want to just say, whatever, go the easy way?
I mean, we could get closer to the bottom and then maybe strike out just a little, so we're not emerging off the path immediately. But I mean, the path is here, and there are things that live in these mountains. So, just a thought. I don't want to be beat half to death or torn up from our excursion when we get to the gates. I'd like to be at least, come home clean and, richer than I was before.
I say we can take the path and then diverge when we get a little closer.
Yeah, I mean, just like right at the end, there's a few turns that we could avoid and just climb down a bit. It won't be nearly as rough. But to start from here and avoid the path, that's a lot of doing. That's a lot of climbing and unclimbing, descending, unclimbing.
I like unclimbing.
Yes.
I like unclimbing. Very quick before we go, Garen, come here. I'm gonna bring Garen over, and I'm gonna point
to where I saw that figure at night and be like, Garen, I saw something there. Can you just pick out if there's a path there, or like just trying to decipher more of the area, not looking for the figure, but is there a human path, or was it just like a goat path and there was a goat
Or
just
is it
chilling?
some sort of terrifying night monster?
Yeah.
Sure.
Do we have a
Well,
night stalker?
Would I roll for that perception or survival?
Perception.
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 Your ability at a distance to
Disgrace.
pick out some details. It's obviously well within a mile, so you should be able to. Wow, 15 with a perception. Yeah, okay. You don't see a path. There's a bunch of rocks, and if there is a path, it isn't clearly seeable from here. What's interesting is that you do pick out a rock that looks like it was carved into the shape of a chair in the spot where Darrow points to, where the figure stopped, and Razir probably, I don't know, may hear part of this conversation, and because the figure didn't stop
On my shift, it's
on your shift, just on Razir's.
Yeah, I would assume Razir came with, but it was more so just to get Garen to look.
That's about all you get.
Yeah, so no path, but unless this area of Tael Noro knows how to make its own chairs, there's a stone. It's made of stone, though. It's not even like how you would imagine, like a wooden chair. I think I'd prefer this, actually. Can I take that? Whatever. There's a chair up there. There's a seat that and I don't say that to say that it looks like a rock. It looks like an actual.
It was carved to be a seat.
Yeah. I don't know if that answers whether or not someone was potentially there or not. But I don't know why else a chair would be there.
For sitting?
Well,
In the middle of nowhere, yeah.
Where all smugglers come and do their trade, it's fair to assume that someone might be watching.
Well, I mean, there could just be someone who could. There might be a drop up there somewhere, like a dead drop.
Or a hermit.
Or a hermit. Oh, that'd be fun. Wonder. Do I recall any stories of anyone living up in the mountains? Or anything specific? It would just be random animals to me or something like that?
Yeah, probably just random animals, and even if there was something like that, it probably wasn't of any value as far as the information was concerned. It's not something that you were going to steal.
I mean, go ahead.
I wouldn't doubt that there's scouts around here, at least to inform gangs or leaders or some boss that who is entering and exiting the Tael Noro.
It's a fair assumption, I'm sure.
It's not at all uncommon for there to be scouts out and about in the Caldera, just everywhere. Yep.
It's safe to assume that, if not now, but by the time we reach the bottom, we're being watched.
Oh, yeah, more than likely. I mean,
for all we know, Blackstar, you could be watching us, and you're about to turn us all in.
Or we could be watching turning
silence.
him in.
Or Clovis. Hey, we don't even know this man.
He's new. He's new. At least I have, long-standing credibility. And I lift my shirt into the ruffles.
What
brings
you doing there, pal?
What? Nothing. Don't worry about it.
Just sniffing yourself, making sure you're clean. All right, well, should we head out?
Yes.
It's okay. So you take the path. You get about 3/4 of the way down, and Blackstar kind of would guide you to a point where you can go off the trail from that point, where it's not easy traversal, but it's way easier than literally trying to unclimb yourself down from these precarious
Unclimbing is difficult.
areas. So boulder to boulder, maybe
Boulder.
nobody sprains an ankle or anything, but maybe Clovis gets stuck in between two of them, slips and falls and gets wedged and has to get pulled out. Nobody's damaged or anything. Maybe a
Backpack gets caught.
Scrape here or there. But you eventually make your way down to the bottom, and you wanted to go. Did you say east? Because your descent brings you to the west side of Tael Noro, about a half a mile west of Tael Noro.
So where exactly?
So I may not have described that. So you're not
Okay.
up over here.
That's where I thought. Yeah, that's where I thought we would come down from.
O,
also,
where the O in Tael Noro is on the map is where that descent brings you to.
I was thinking more it would be just towards where the L is, so we could just loop around to the right a bit more. But yeah, if we're on that side, there's no avoiding it. We're just coming from that direction, anyways.
That's right. Yeah, you're coming from the direction of the path. Yeah, sorry, that I should have been more clear about that. But yeah, so regardless, you do eventually make your way down to the base of this.
any other scout sightings or what's it? Evidence of foot travel or like anyone around who might have passed overnight or anything?
Anybody who wants to can make an additional, either we'll have this be survival or perception check.
They're both the same
Just
for
to
me.
check for everything as you're making your way.
Absolutely. Keep an eye out for anybody. I don't know, now that you've said someone might have been up there, it's possible that we're already marked.
Yeah.
So let's see here. It's funny that Garen rolled that 20. So both Darrow and Garen on the mountain range across from where you are over here, directly south of Tael Noro, as you're walking down and keeping an eye out for anything. You don't see any tracks. You don't see any other people. There might be creatures that are about, but you don't actually see any. You do. I shouldn't say that. You do see birds way up in the air. Could be vultures, there could be eagles or hawks or whatever. But on the mountain range across, as you're coming down, you're getting this gorgeous view of the caldera. There is like a reflection, almost like somebody has a mirror. That it's something on that mountain range is reflecting, and Garen is too far away. It's much more than a mile away. It's like that's like maybe 8 or 9, 10 miles, somewhere in that neighborhood, to the other side of this. But whatever it is big enough to be reflecting all the way from that mountain range that you can see.
You wouldn't know anything about some operations being done on that mountain over there, would you?
Operations?
I don't know, like buildings or just like a base over there.
No, I mean, no, not that I'm aware of. I mean, I know the chainless base is deeper into the caldera, somewhere between Tael Noro and Hyalus. So unless they've set up. Oh, but with all the giant activity, I wouldn't be surprised if maybe people were keeping an eye out on the Western Front. Maybe seeing movements and things. I'm not sure. I don't recall anything ever being up out this way, though, other than the clearing.
All right. Well, there's something is reflecting back over here from over there. I don't know if you can see it. So I was just curious if maybe that's where a lot of people would be to keep an eye on people. But anyways.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's, I've mentioned scouts. There's, this whole entire caldera could be viewed as like a giant PUBG match where there's just people out and about. There's just literally just bandits out there. They may not even be from Tael Noro. The whole place is super dangerous. This is a battle royale caldera is what this is. So there could be camps up there. There could be people. There's also other creatures. There's like giant lizards that might have some reflective scales to them. You don't know. It could be anything. It's too far away to make out any detail, but there was a reflection over there. So I may call attention to some details. I guess maybe No, I'm not going to say that I shouldn't, but it's more of just like there's things out there. I don't want it to seem like this is a barren.
It seems like there's things out there. No, I like it.
This is not intended to be barren at all. So
yeah, no, I appreciate it.
I have unease over this. I'm not sure what to think, but I'm excited to know what it is.
Right. Yeah, anything could turn into anything. We'll find out. So you have about a half a mile travel to the front of where the inlet of the mountain brings you to the gates. You are aware that it would be virtually impossible to sneak up on the gates unless you're all invisible. I will say that as you're traveling in that direction, you do see. I don't know how close do you want to get to the gates? Are you you're just walking to them? You guys all have your quote unquote disguises on. You're just going, right?
I think it's best.
Yeah, going for it.
The shadier we act, the more attention we bring.
Gotcha. Okay, so about at a certain point, you kind of round a bend, and like you can see like the edges of the large metal walls that are there, but you kind of round a bend, and it's just a massive opening, hundreds of feet wide. And the walls themselves are a minimum of 100 feet tall. They actually kind of taper downwards on the edges a bit, so it doesn't come up to a complete point. But it's taller in the center, and down at the base of it, there are like I would say they're pretty decent sized gates, double gates that they're like built into the metal wall. So you can see that there are gates there, but it's not entirely obvious how big they are because it's just part of the metal that makes this up. There are a bunch of metal tipped wooden stakes. That's not the right word. The things that they use to barricade things where the wood is like this on the outside, the bottom edge of this. And there seems to be a small group of maybe like 12 individuals. They have like a stretcher that they are not carrying, they are dragging behind them, and there are two bodies like piled on this larger stretcher that looks like animal hide stretched across a couple of logs, and they're all like hauling it, like making their way towards the gates themselves. There are two guards that are in some uniform. As you get a little bit closer, you're going to be getting to the gate at almost the same time as this other group is coming with the stretcher. The group of 12, like you see like one of them look over at you, doesn't even like you can see that like one of them has a rifle just across their back. You've got one who has a revolver on the side. They've got crossbows. None of them look like wizard-like, but nobody in Tael Noro, unless they're a little bit more ostentatious, you're going to be able to tell that they're magic users. But these are either adventurers, they're scouts. You have no idea. Even to Blackstar, it's not immediately recognizable that they're members of a gang of any kind. They're just people who were out in the desert covered in sand. They do have like big scarves wrapped around the front of their faces to protect from the dust, which there is just dust kind of flowing in this direction. The guards seem to kind of like stiffen up a bit as those individuals come forward and look at your group as well. Do you guys do anything?
Look.
What do you try to do?
There's vultures over there. Be careful. No, not up in the sky. Those people over there. Who knows what kind of carrion or, corpse eating they're doing. Coming from the desert. Vultures for sure. And I don't think they're part of any gang. They're not wearing anything specific. But they have the look about them. Just be careful and then, mind your P's and Q's. Oh, check your pockets.
I don't have pockets.
Okay, that's even better. And I'm stride. Blackstar's going to continue striding forward.
I'm following Blackstar.
The other group
walk in like we own the place.
the other group seems to like see that you're approaching and you're going to get there at the same time. They quicken their pace to try to get to the front gates before you do, because it's not like we're racing you there, but they feel like they are not more important, but they have a more important reason to get to the town than you do, and they don't want to be held up waiting for you to be accepted into the gate, so they're just going forward. Do you do anything about that, or do you recognize that and just let it happen?
We don't need any trouble, right?
Right away from the.
Right.
Don't
Right.
want to attract any attention to us, right?
Right. Unless it's better to be strong-headed.
I kind of want to flex a little bit.
I'm following Black Star, so
As Black Star's walking, he looks at Xander. Watch this, and then I'm just gonna, as we're walking, I just kind of cast a mass hypnosis, or was it hypnotic pattern? That's the one.
Where, who, and where?
So above the group, so it's got a
Before they get to the gates.
yeah,
Gotcha.
it's inside a 30-foot cube, and the range is 120 feet. So I don't want to get the guards. I just want to get them, just
Sure.
to stop them for a
You
second.
can just like pick up the pace a little bit. You don't even have to run. You just kind of pick up the pace and get ahead, and then you cast it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a 17 wisdom save, and then they're charmed.
So much for keeping a low profile.
Yep.
I mean, make sure that they don't mess. They know they want to see that we have strength. You know. Then
you said 17.
yeah.
Okay. All but one of them fails.
Okay. That'll hold them for a second.
How many people can it affect? Just everybody in a range?
Everyone within the cube.
Okay. They are charmed by you. Does that mean that they do anything in particular, or they like stuck
No,
in place?
so they become charmed for the duration. While charmed by the spell, the creature is incapacitated and has a speed of 0.
Basically, just
They can be shaken out of it, but
Okay. So the individual who wasn't even really acting as a leader, was just in front, just continues walking forward, and all the rest of them like stop like in place. The two to four individuals who are like grabbing onto these like logs and like hauling them forward, dragging the bodies, and maybe a couple of other like sacks that were on the back of this kind of strewn over the tops of these bodies, just like drop them, and the thing just clatters to the ground. But it's in sand, because you're walking in sand now at this point, by the way, if I hadn't mentioned that. The other individual like walks forward a good like 15-20 feet, and then like turns around, looks over at your group, looks at everybody who's stopped and just staring forward. The two guards that are at the front don't move. You see the group, and you guys are kind of parallel. You're probably like 120 feet from where those guards are at this point. The guards don't do anything. They just stand there and they watch. And the one individual like turns around, it doesn't say anything, just has the scarf up and runs back over to the group. And you said they can be shaken out of it?
mm-hmm.
It goes over to check the two bodies that are on the ground to make sure they weren't harmed from the stretcher being just dropped onto the ground, and then gets up and goes over to one person, and it is like takes his shoulders, and here it's windy out, so he's like just saying something under his breath. And I don't care if anybody can read lips. He's got a full scarf across his face, so you can't hear. You have no idea what he's saying.
Louise isn't here anymore.
Oh, that's true. Yep.
and also do that.
So in all this time, walking forward, coming back, checking, doing this thing, you guys are continuing walking forward.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna watch them though and see what I can tell from like the bodies and stuff they've got.
Okay. All right. On your way by, give me a perception check. So you walk past this group of individuals who now is stopped in place, and there's one person trying to recover what's happening here. It doesn't at quick glance, you don't see anything of value on them. Even their weapons and whatever armor that they're wearing, they had a hard time out there last night or this morning or whatever the case is, and they're it's a surprise that only 2 of them are on that stretcher at this point. He's beginning to rouse the rest of his group that he's with, and they start like shouting and pointing towards you guys. Nobody's like taking out any weapons to like shoot at you or try to attack you or anything. They're scrambling. They're in a rush, and there's a lot of anxiety. You guys walk right on past that group, and you just walk right up to the guards. So you see they're fully armored, and Blackstar, you recognize immediately the insignia like thrown over a cloak on one of these guards. Looks like more of a like tall, more stout individual, kind of like big burly man, and then kind of more of a slender individual on the other side. The insignia is of the Spiked Glove. These are 2 Spiked Glove people that are assigned to be the 2 guards on the front of Tael Noro.
But I know that means that it's their cycle right now.
That is, yes. They are in control of Tael Noro right now.
All right. To everyone else, the Spiked Gloves are in the cycle right now. So
Good, bad, medium.
we'll talk more
Yeah.
about it. Yeah. And as I walk up, I raised my hand. Good afternoon, or good morning, gentlemen. How's it going today? You see that lot back there? I'm sure they'll be fun to deal with.
What's your purpose?
Just here to shop. We want to see the Gilded Chain. Check out a few other stores. Maybe go and check. Look into the Locked Mind. Take in some magic shows. The parlor trick.
You just literally see the eyes squint under, like there's the helmet, but it's like partially open on the front. You just see the eyes of this person squint and look at you. Okay, so you just have you been to Tael Noro before?
I have, yes. I love this city.
What's your name?
My name, Duke Nostrum.
Make a deception check.
And I'm not a duke. It's just that's my first name, Duke Nostrum. Oh my god, that's terrible. I cannot roll tonight.
Oh, 19. Okay.
That's bad for me.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Other individual doesn't make a difference. Okay. All right. Yeah. You looking to have any dealings with any people specifically in town?
I mean, specifically, not necessarily yet. There may be some contracts that I could look into, but I'm really here just to take in the sights. Bit of a tour right now, bit of a walkabout in the lands.
Okay. How close are you to them? How close is the group? Your group, everybody.
I was behind Blackstar. I was trying to essentially act like a
together.
You having this conversation from 20 or 30 feet away? Or you having it from
like
10
20
feet away? Okay.
20
feet.
walking. And like once they start talking, I'll kind of stop and keep my distance until they approve of us. But
okay. All right. Everybody stand at least 5 feet from each other. Are you willing to submit to an illusory test?
For what? When did illusory tests become standard fare here?
He just raises his eyebrows. Do you know who Jericho Dustoff is?
I've heard of, yes, the mighty Jericho Dustoff.
Stepped up our game recently.
Stepped up your game. Are you're over the Spiked Gloves then?
We are. And you notice at this point that their armor is of a much higher quality than what would have been provided to them previously. That's about it. It's just of a nicer quality. It's well kept. They don't these two soldiers don't pose a danger to you and your crew, and they know that that's the case. But they're also talking like they own the place,
Right.
and they're not going to take any crap, essentially.
This is the free city of Tael Noro. An illusory check. What if I'm here to conceal myself? What kind of nonsense is this?
Well, then announce that you're here to conceal yourself and provide your proof of such, and you'll be allowed in. You see, you say the free city of Tael Noro, but it is free under the dominion of the Spiked Glove. Permanently, as of late.
I think they have a benefactor.
Well, they're in charge here. We should skedaddle and not go to Tael Noro. Just skip out. Peace out of town. Let's go to Hyalus.
Hyalus.
Okay. Wow. This is interesting. So
Now, you seem flustered, and that happens. People come to Tael Noro, they kind of pee themselves a bit when they try to come through these gates, and we're all tough and gruff. If you want to go inside and get yourself killed, that's up to you. Just tell me whether or not you've got an illusion on. I won't do an inspection. I'll let you go in and get yourself murdered.
okay.
I do.
Yeah,
Good.
I've got an illusion.
Good. Okay.
It's my beard. I used to have one.
Yep, I don't care. Good. All right. Anybody else?
I do.
All right.
I don't.
That's surprising. Right? Nobody else? All right. Oh, right. New thing. We just started this yesterday. Yeah, Bundy. Here, go ahead. And this smaller individual who hasn't said anything yet kind of steps forward without asking any of you. I need everybody to make a wisdom saving throw, please.
All right. Is it magic?
It sure is.
All right, I have advantage on because I am a gnome.
Is it a death saving throw?
No.
Wait, did it roll with advantage?
Oh,
It did not.
Oh.
Why?
oh,
I did. All right.
2 nat 20s in a row.
Wow.
Okay.
I'm doomed. I'm doomed for our next
Oh my
shot.
god, I rolled
Yeah,
really bad.
whatever happens next is oof.
There's going to be a
let's-
flying enemy, and I'm
Okay.
out of luck, guys.
Close. Dag.
let's see. So
Like, oh man, advantage didn't help.
Xander, Darrow, and Razir are all successful. Everybody else failed the saving throw, and you are under the effects of a zone of truth. I need the names of each one of you.
Clovis Bordeaux.
Garen Stonefist.
It's not
I've
a
already-
fourth wall breaking zone of truth. All right.
Bordeaux.
I've already given you a name.
Bordeaux.
And the rest of you. Blackstar already gave his name, his fake name, and did Blackstar? Blackstar failed.
But I know
But
I'm under the
you
effects.
already- That's correct, and you already gave your answer, so they were gesturing to the rest of you.
Yeah, I gave my name.
Yep. Motions towards B2. Darrow.
Dara, Lightbringer.
Are we having a problem here?
No.
What's going on here?
Sorry. Avon.
Okay. Avon. Is that like a place?
Last name's not important. I mean, Stratford upon Avon is a place in books.
Oh my god, it's gonna be such a long day. Okay. And this guy, other guy, points towards Razier. Did you already answer?
Oh, you didn't hear me. I said stone.
Stone. Wow. So original. Why do they have
Stone
us doing this? Why are we
Fistgaren.
asking what people's names are? Like, what's the...
Why
This-
are you asking this?
This is, you know what? We don't want to... You didn't hear us say anything. All right. Just goes over to the gate. It's like totally fed up with like realizing how ridiculous. Maybe this is their first shift under these new rules and like having to do this for the first time and just also feels that it's totally ridiculous. Just raps on
Using the new software system that just doesn't work. It's like, this is stupid. This is so dumb.
Yeah. Why are we doing this?
That wasn't me this week.
They were excited for the change in software system, but then realized it's
dumb.
not a better operating system.
Bangs on the metal wall and it clangs and kind of reverberates like almost through the entire wall, making a pretty loud sound. And from the inside there's the sound of chains and the gates slowly grind open. The group behind you has now fully reassembled themselves and just sees the door's opening and goes for a full sprint towards the entryway. They are going to try and do you step out of the way? They look like they're going to run you over.
Yeah, Blackstar gets out of the way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. They go running in. One of the guards you were just speaking with grabs one of the individuals who's running inside and throws them to the side, and they literally just get fully impaled on one of these spikes on the side. Just right on it. Nobody cares at all. No qualms at all. You see like about a dozen guards on the inside, all wearing the same armor, the spiked glove armor, kind of rush up to the group, and all of them start getting like tackled to the ground. Like, this is not acceptable, and they all start shouting like, the people on the stretcher, get them, we need help. And the guards say nothing, pick all of them up, and you see chains being wrapped around people, and they just start like shackling all of them and just hauling them off into the city, like off to the left-hand side. The stretcher just falls to the ground. One of the bodies flops off of it with a couple of the bags. One of the bags opens up, and you see a couple of like potion bottles hit the ground. They're empty, and just kind of like scatter. One of them shatters off to the side, and you see a couple of other individuals not in spiked glove attire come over. They're not guards, just people. And now that the gates are open, you can see inwards. There is like a very, very poor section of the city, and there's a road that leads straight inwards, and the cavern is massive above you. There's a ton to describe, so I'm only going to describe this front portion of it. So tents, broken buildings, lots and lots of people that look like they are not very well off, and that is the couple of people that run up to the people that are on the stretcher and like collect them up and the bags and whatever they can. One of them cuts their hand on the glass that's broken on the ground. A couple people run up and like, grab the stretcher, and a couple of them are like like tugging on either end of it to try and take it themselves, and eventually it like doesn't break, but they eventually haul it off, and the people just scatter into the crowd. And it's within seconds, it's all gone. And it's just the pathway forward into Tael Noro.
At least that's more normal.
The guy that was impaled, was that on our side or the opposite side of the door?
On the outside of the outside.
Our side. Because we didn't go through. I mean,
you stepped off to the left. He was impaled on the right hand side.
I'm gonna walk over there and check his pockets.
Okay, make an investigation check.
Run those pockets. I'm so proud of you.
Make it look official.
There we go. 26.
26.
Just like, I'm doing it like nonchalantly, like I know what I'm doing. You know what I'm doing. I'm not gonna try and be sneaky about it. Kind of attitude with it.
And the guards have stepped off to the side as the doors opened, and the doors did open outwards.
The guards are like, "That's my guy, yeah."
Guards stand off to the side. You go over and you run the pockets of this individual there's just blood dripping onto the ground from this spike and everything. The smaller guard who still hadn't said anything up until this point, kind of like side eye, like glances over and just kind of like nods towards you. holds out her hand, like as though like whatever you find, you're giving me some of it. And you find 2 gold and 3 copper on this individual.
I will. While I'm doing this, hopefully the body's warm enough. I'm also going to put my hand on him. And as I'm doing that, kind of move over to the side or touch and then move over and like so that they would turn away from the body and put one of the gold in their hand.
Gotcha. Okay. So, yeah. All right. We're envisioning things just slightly differently, but it's not a big deal. Okay. So you do that. Slightly turns away. You do your thing. It makes some noise. It's not loud by any stretch of the imagination, but it does make a tiny bit of noise.
I would have done this like during the chaos of all these other people running in.
Gotcha. So just kind of slyly make your way over there. Do this really quick, just before. Totally perishes. Gotcha. Put one of the gold in the pocket, hand clenches and goes down by her side. Doesn't make any other motion, says nothing else, and you take care of business. Pocket the 1 gold and, what did I say, 3 copper?
3 copper, yeah.
So, let me...
New map?
Bring you to the map of Tael Noro.
New map.
Yeah, boy.
The pit. I want to go there.
The big hole in the ground.
Further tricks.
All right.
Labeled places.
Let's go.
So upon walking through the gates, as they slowly close behind you, there are a number of individuals that are flooding through the city streets on the left and right-hand side of this primary road. There are people on the rooftops. There are people that are smoking. There are people that are in the streets ravenously tearing at bread and meats. It is not utter and complete and total chaos, although it feels that way to people who are from other cities. Past this main road and this area, which is referred to as the Crooked Narrows, you see a giant, gold encased, mostly broken down statue that towers like 100 or more feet tall in this giant cavern. You can see that there are like sections of the city buildings that are kind of like built into the sides of the walls. There are like huge sections of stalactites that are hanging down from the roof, and there are buildings that are all up in clusters around this with like rope and wooden bridges that stretch between them. The statue rising up into where those stalactites are, and giant sections of stone that are just in the city. And when I say stone, I mean like hundreds of feet wide and 100 or more feet tall, and there's just buildings lining the outside of this as well, all made out of stone and wood, various types of clay. You can see even way off in the distance, there's another one of these huge rock outcroppings. This is a gargantuan cavern, and there is a very alive, writhing city throughout this. You can even see hundreds and hundreds of feet, especially Garen, could see like a basic almost from one end all the way to the other end. There's smoke coming off from various fires and sections of the city that have like lots of vendors, people that are selling probably meat sticks, as Razir can probably smell wafting on the wind. That's here.
Not from here.
Not from here?
No, not from here.
Okay.
I know better. No.
But you do smell it, though. There's also the smell of maybe a bakery. You see, even just in the few seconds that you're here, there are a couple of individuals that are running on the rooftops on the right-hand side. They're not in the narrows. They're in the next section called the road's end. And it's almost like they're racing across the rooftops, just jumping and leaping and flipping. It is so much to take in all at once. It's intimidating.
I'm gonna cry. This is so beautiful, Tim.
And you're playing my favorite System of the Down song.
And immediately, within like a minute of stepping into the city, there are a couple of people who are literally in rags that like come up to you and like put their hands on you. They do walk right up to you and put their hands on you, and they're like touching you. You're like hitting them.
Yeah.
You're hitting them.
I'll just push them back.
Yeah, you push him back to the one individual. Looks like a not an older man, but somebody who's seen better days. Maybe he's been on drugs for a while now. Like, you push him away, grabs onto your arm. He's like, please, please, what do you have? Anything, something, please.
Blackstar will
drink.
In his hand he pulls out and like has a few silver pieces in between his knuckles. And then I'm gonna act like I'm throwing them, but when I do, I'm gonna throw copper instead, like thinking that they're gonna get some silver, but like further away, be like, here, and then I just go like this.
Just ting, 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 ting. And you have like maybe 40 people that immediately like hear the ting, 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 and like 7 or 8 or 10 people like dive on where the coins are, and 30 or 40 people they turn around and look directly at you. And you have a group of people moving in your direction now. This is the most difficult, poorest section of town where people are not a great place that are coming.
That's fair. So when those people are over there and then we're being followed as we're walking, Blackstar will turn around and I'll just create a bonfire in between us and this group of people. Like, that just magically populates.
Gotcha. Lights up. The individuals kind of like stop. One of them like literally stumbles and falls into the fire.
Yeah.
Okay. Just
I let it burn for like a moment and then I stop it and be like, go away.
Okay. Make an intimidation check for me. Let me know when you want me to turn off toxicity. By the way, we don't have to have this on repeat the whole time. Never.
No, the whole time.
This is partially the song that I use to inspire much of what you're about to experience. 27. Okay, so they all kind of like back off a little bit and get wide-eyed, and like many of them are bloodshot, sweat coming down, and it's hot. Inside of here, immediately the temperature is different. I should have said that initially. The gates close behind, and it's like you've been shut into an oven. You look up behind you in that section where the cavern is, and the wall is kind of bent out around it. There's like ripples of heat coming out from that section because it's just so hot inside of the city. From your current position, you see no other openings to this cavern. There's no rays of light coming down from above. You are in an easy bake oven right now.
Blackstar is smiling so wide on the inside of his person. This feels so good to be in Tael Noro.
Xander's immediately checking his belongings.
Same.
I have
with the backpack on the front,
steal.
have everything tied together.
I know, right?
You take like a couple steps forward. You like try to maybe look for a place where you can go where you're not just being hemmed in by people all around you. You kind of step off to the side. Blackstar knows exactly where he is. He knows where everything is here, right? Steps off to the side into an alleyway in the Crooked Narrows. And there's just like a person who is super like gaunt and just laying in the side street, like up against like a bucket, drooling, and maybe a little bit of blood coming out of the side of his mouth, just out. And all the rest of the people go about like milling through the rest of the streets. It seems like this scenario is only directly around the front entrance. The rest of Tael Noro is not like this. And it's not even all of the Crooked Narrows. It's just new people came in the city. You know, you're not surrounded by 30 bodyguards pushing who know, like when you come to Tael Noro knowing this is going to happen, push them all back. You could have probably killed half of the people that were there. And the person who fell in the bonfire is dead, burned, singeing on the ground in the middle of the road. Nobody comes to pick him up.
It's like the Undercity from Arcane.
I know, I love it.
You do hear not discordant sounds, but there's definitely music that, because of the cavernous space that's here, it's like a giant echo chamber. You can hear music off in the distance being played, maybe at a bar, tavern. Black Star, listening to it, you know exactly where it's coming from. It's coming from the Black Hole Sun, and which is on the east side of the Crooked Narrows.
That's where we're heading.
The statue is massive and intimidating. It looks like it was made for a god. Is anybody here any religious anything? I mean, Black Star knows what it is, but
yeah,
Clovis is.
The cleric probably is.
I'm
Okay.
proficient in religion.
Okay.
No, but Darrow has mentioned the gods quite a bit.
Gotcha.
That would be up to you.
Yeah. Absolutely. So, this is a statue of Mathis. And Blackstar, in Tael Noro, Mathis is referred to as the Flame of Judgment. That is the only deity, probably, well, you really don't, nobody really cares. It's like, there's a temple in a place like this. But yeah, the statue itself is referred to as the Judged Stand Still. And it is the only place of reverence. People are allowed to go there to say their last words before they're most likely publicly executed for whatever reasons they're being executed for. But there's shops here. There's places to go. There are a lot of bars. Thank you, Alex. Like way too many bars. I would never put this many bars in a town, but there are so many. I've done enough talking. What do you guys do?
Oh, I love it. I love it. I want you to just talk the whole time.
Where are we? Are we
You
still in the front?
No, I'll move you're like over here.
Okay.
So it would have been moving us forward. Obviously made the intimidation display and then I'm gonna head kind of north and then veer us to the east to head towards Black Hole Sun. As we're passing, right before we go into the alleyway, and I look at the statue of Mathis, and I do a produce flame, and I hold it up, and then I crush it, and then I just turn into the alleyway.
Awesome. Okay. So you're traveling through the Crooked Narrows, not the road in between the Crooked Narrows and the road's end.
Black Star would not just take the road. Black Star would follow his beaten through the Narrows. He knows he's not thinking of everyone else right now. He just knows what he's about. It's back home. He feels good. It's gonna take you to the worst delis, the corner stores where you might get shot, but he knows where he's at, so he's okay with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Walking alongside Garen, I'll just feel like this is way worse than how he ever described it.
in my mind, in Black Star's mind, it's like so pleasant, and he's like, "Oh, this is great." Just another. He lit someone on fire not 10 seconds ago. He's like, "Man, what a day! What a morning!"
There are people starving and dead on the street.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I
think Alex is also in his element right now. He is so
I
in
love
love with this.
This is the best city ever, Tim. I could live here.
He did live here.
Reminds
Sorry,
me
go
of Baltimore.
Garen.
This is perfect.
Go ahead, Garen. Sorry.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting to be. I didn't even know what to do in that situation, and I wanted to help them, but at the same time, I don't know if they're people I could trust.
I mean, I wanted to help people, but also I kind of just wanted to shoot them.
Yeah, I wanted to hit them too. It's a weird, conflicting situation to want to help someone and also quickly get away from them. Yeah,
This is the worst.
this is Tael Noro. I don't get why he loves it so much. Hopefully, we see more.
Blackstar turns around to make sure everyone's there, and it's just like this. Are you all with me?
This guy's a universal right now.
Blackstar,
We're in like a Far Cry game.
You're
He's like
walking.
the dictator.
Yeah.
Two things happen on your way to the Black Hole Sun. The first thing is you round a corner as you're kind of like nothing lines up. There's no symmetry here in any way, shape, or form. You round a bend around one of the buildings, and there is a person who's very, very clearly intoxicated, who is being just has the actual crap being beat out of them by two people, individuals. They are like standing above this person. They're bigger than the person who's on the ground. Person who's on the ground literally still has a bottle of something in their hand, and they're just have blood just coming down their face, and they're not even saying anything. They're just standing there just beating on this person, and the person's like starting to like lose consciousness and get out, drops the bottle, it rolls out to the side, some of the alcohol kind of spilling out into some of the stones that are here, which there is it's like cobblestone roads everywhere, but it's all broken and jagged. If you fell, you would absolutely cut your knee open anywhere along here. There's also dirt and probably refuse of all different kinds just in the corners, up the sides of walls. There's
we're in
trash.
Paris.
So the one of the first people who's like beating up the guy on the ground goes over to the bottle that dropped on the side, picks it up, smashes it against one of the stone walls that's there, and goes over and just guts the guy who's on the ground. And you guys just keep walking. As you round another, unless you're stopping.
Blackstar just looks, and you see a slight. If anybody's paying attention, Blackstar nods slightly as he's smiling, just taking it all in. It's good to be home.
How do people live here?
Yep.
And I'll keep moving.
People are just getting murdered in the streets. Yep. This is a day in the life of Tael Noro. You round another bend. You go a little ways forward. You get a little bit closer to the Black Hole Sun. We'll put you over here. A bird person comes running up to Blackstar in your ostentatious outfit. You recognize this person as Ashbit Nettlecloak. This is a half Kenku, half Aarakocra person who is a oh gosh dang it, he's a member of Embers of Riot. And
Ashbit Nettlecloak, you said?
Ashbit Nettlecloak, referred to as Ash. Kind of like I don't know if I should say this. Has a mental disorder and is a member of the Embers of Riot, but isn't really loyal to them. Is just kind of a person who they use to do running of errands and run messages and things like that.
It's like a gopher for him.
Kind of, and but looks like he's approaching you, like your group. You also know that if he has nothing to do, he just kind of hangs around and looks for things to do. Just kind of goes and grabs a lollipop and runs around the town. But that's just has a grand old time, and is never attacked by anyone, and nobody knows why. But doesn't really ever have anything of high value on him. He's never given something like valuable to carry across town. He's never been attacked ever.
It's like a mascot.
Mostly black feathers. Does have a belt with several pouches on it that all have locks, and it has a key ring around the belt, and then has a lot of his own feathers as a cover over the belt and all the pouches that are there, and is wearing a red scarf around that is in pristine condition, like it's just meticulously cleaned. There's no sweat or grime. All the feathers are like slicked to like uses oil to condition his feathers, and has like these parts of the front of his wings kind of come forward almost like fingers, and is like waving them in front of him as he's running, almost like a velociraptor is kind of like bouncing a little bit as he's running forward, coming towards the group. And you see wild, like bright yellow eyes just kind of darting around, black beak kind of sticking out of the front of the face. Runs up to your group. Hello. am I able to help you with anything? It's like looks the group over, like top down, in an instant knows exactly what you all have on you, and feathers sticking out forwards.
Hands to yourself, Ashbit. I need something from you.
How do you know who I am?
Of course I know who you are. You're Ashbit Nettlecloak.
Oh, of course, everyone knows who I am. What can I do for you?
I need you to run off. Go over to, Hold on a second. I had this lined up and then I forgot. I want you to go over to the, Where's it at? Oh, no. Monarch Assassin. Go to the Monarch Assassin. Find us a table. Wait for us. We'll be there shortly.
I'm looking for someone to help be guided through the city, and I'm feeling a little bit like I need to help someone along their way. You look new. You're all new. I haven't seen any of you before.
Of course not, because we don't look like we normally do.
Oh, of course. Well, I could. Do you have money?
No change today, Ashbit. Go on, run. Go on.
Well, all right. Just keep an eye out. And points a feather up towards a taller building that's like not far off in the road's end. Maybe like several hundred feet from where you are, up on top of a building. There's just and as he points it out, there's a person up there laying down, totally like black outfit on, has what looks like, I would say, because Garen can make up the details, but reflective something on their eyes that they're looking through, and has a rifle trained just on you, the whole group, from that distance. Mm-hmm. All right, if you don't need my help, I was gonna try to stick around and keep y'all from dying. If you're just new to this town, somebody probably just died around the corner, not too far from here. I don't know, but Monarch Assassin. Sure. All right, I'll see you there, I guess. But if you're gonna be in town for a bit,
we will be.
All right. I'll see you around.
I flip him a silver piece as he's running by.
Doesn't even look, eyes don't even twitch, feathers come up, and it just lands somewhere in the wing, and just kind of like fingers continue going this way as he darts off like a velociraptor hopping through the rest of the streets that are here.
Good.
Yep.
Good old Ashbit.
Anybody say anything, do anything? I do feel like I'm doing a lot, like way more talking than I've ever done.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
No, you're good.
I will pull out my revolver.
I was gonna say rifle guy.
Mm-hmm. I've been challenged. I'm gonna pull out my revolver. I'm gonna quickly do minor illusion to just make a few words in the air. Can I do that?
For sure.
Yeah, it'll be a sign that
Like Black Star
object.
giant.
Yeah. That says, hope you don't miss, because I won't, as I aim at him.
Okay. Are you going to shoot?
Yeah, it's Tael Noro. Let's give him a warning shot.
Are you aiming at him?
Yeah.
Okay, so not
How
past
far
him.
is he?
Probably good. Let's see.
How far is this?
Oh, this is scale, by the way. I do have scale.
Yeah,
on
no,
here.
I saw that one.
Okay, I can shoot halfway across the city.
Okay.
No problem.
About 175 feet.
Oh, easy shot.
Okay.
Light work, no reaction.
Okay. Just for the sake of this, just go ahead and roll initiative for me. Just you.
Sure. Not too bad. 14.
Oops, I hit the wrong button.
Where did you say it was again?
I'll show you in a second.
North of us in the road's end on a tall building.
It's not what I'm looking for. Now I can't close this. We're going to get to a really cool ending point here shortly. Don't worry. I know it's 11:35. What is that? I could have
Thank you,
gotten
Jason.
vocals, but I figured it was better to not have vocals.
We would have been way more distracted.
Yeah.
Where the heck is?
I kid you not. I listen to this song like 3 times a week. So
Really?
Oh yeah, it's in the
Dude,
playlist that keeps going.
I'm going to see them in August.
nice.
Literally the weekend after, I'm going to MetLife, and I'm gonna go see them.
MetLife.
Oh,
Dude, did you see
here we
Did
go.
you see the video of them in Brazil?
No.
I gotta send it to you guys. It's
This
absolutely nuts.
Oh, was it that big, massive crowd?
Yeah.
Oh, I did see that. Yeah, that was nuts.
He rolled an 18. You have a 14.
Yep.
That's not gonna work. I gotta. Nope, not even that much. It was a 28 to hit. You take 4 points of piercing damage. And then you can go ahead and take your shot.
Shot? Oh, if he's shooting, I'm shooting him and not doing a warning shot.
I just asked you if you're shooting at him, like to hit him.
No, he said he was doing a warning shot.
I was going to do a warning shot, but if he's shooting...
He was only going to shoot if he saw that you were shooting. So you were going to shoot. I had you roll initiative. He won, so he's giving you a warning shot, which is why he only did 4 damage. But I wasn't understanding whether or not you were actually trying to hit him or not.
Not as a first shot, no. It's going to be a warning
now
shot.
You might as well just
with
use
the sign.
repelling blast.
You know
and
what?
Push this guy
let's
off
just
the building.
let's just play it the way that it happened. Let's just play.
Yeah.
He shot you.
it's-
He shot you.
Yeah, it's Tael Noro.
Uh-huh.
I don't have repelling blast because
Because you got a horse instead.
Just shoot your shot.
Grasp of Hadar would be fun. You just pull him off the building. Yeah.
So the rest of you hear like, and then there's like a whistling sound, and Razir just like chip off the shoulder, just gets hit. 22 definitely. Wait, you're rolling. You're just
he's
rolling.
getting the full compliment.
He's shooting
He's shooting
all
at me.
6, all 4.
Yes, four blast.
Okay, so
Four.
22 and 20 do hit. So go ahead and roll damage for those.
Terrible. Not great. Only 15. Ugh,
15 total.
garbage.
Okay. So four blasts, and they fly off. 2 of them kind of going wide past, just out into this cavernous space here. 2 of them hit him. And you see, like right near where you guys are, there's a tent that's set up against the side of a building, and a person like flops out of it, and like the tent flap comes open, and you're still looking, and I'll describe what happens to the guy in a second. So the person just flops out of it and has like a massive like cigar just laying out of this tent on this side alley. It was a pretty good shot. Just older guy who's just like sweating and greasy, doesn't have a shirt on. You're not sure if he's wearing any underwear or not, but the bottom part of his body is inside of the tent. It's got this cigar, and as he opens the tent flap, smoke just comes pouring out of the front of it. Yeah, that's pretty good. Looks like he's getting away. You're chasing him down. And you're watching. Person takes the hits. You see like some kind of like shattering glass from the front of the face, too far away to make out why that's the case. Person gets up and like scrambles and like puts their hand in the air and does like a circling motion, and then points down at where you guys are in the alleyway, and then takes off and like jumps to other rooftops and out of sight around a corner. Yeah. All right.
Just happened.
Would based on their actions, like would I recognize like who they might be affiliated with or anything?
Give me an insight. You know what? You can make a perception. Whatever's better.
I think my insight's better. Let me see.
I also,
Oh,
I'm just gonna. No, I'll say this at the end. I'll say it at the end.
13.
13 total. Okay.
Yeah.
There are so many gangs, and all of them have people just watching the streets. This could be this could be the runners. It could be anger opposed to cogwork. There's like 3 or 4. It could be, well, probably isn't Shadow Syndicate. There's a number of different people, but you don't know who it is. You don't know who it is. You don't know who they work for. There's nothing characteristic about this, but this is a common thing.
Right.
And
yeah, that I knew. I just wanted.
if you're shooting at random people in Tael Noro, where you're just random people, that's one thing. This is a gang member, and you just shot at them. So Black Star would take note of that. Yeah. So they're a scout of some kind. They're watching the streets. They were watching you. You don't know why.
They shot first.
This could be trouble. Let's get to where we're going and maybe change the way we look for a minute.
I look like this all the time. Whatever.
Yeah, but you didn't shoot, Garen.
What was the fake name Black Star gave?
Duke something.
Duke Nostrum.
Yeah.
Duke Nostrum.
Quick question, Duke Nostrum. Is it arson season right now?
Doesn't seem like it, no.
Yeah. I was gonna start a fire to create a distraction, so we could.
Not in the Narrows, please. Let's leave the Narrows out of it. This is home.
And
maybe
unless something like really catastrophic happens, the gangs don't like get their band together and immediately come after people unless it's a really big deal. This kind of thing is more like, we're going to stab you in your sleep. So somebody will be watching you later to figure out who the heck you guys are, and then we'll make a plan and we'll kill you later. They're not. It's not like that circle motion thing wasn't round up the gang where there's an army coming after Trial and Arrow at this point. That's not what's happening right now. So you don't have to worry about it. But something later will very likely happen. Yeah.
I would like to get to where we're going and eat something.
Yeah. Okay.
No, we're close.
All right. You finally arrive at the outskirts of the Black Hole Sun.
Did you make it look like a piano on purpose?
No, that's just one of the assets that I have for the buildings.
It looks like an actual piano.
Yep.
Kind of does. Yep. Walking up to the front of this, there is the smell of like steak and potatoes and ale and some kind of like grease of some kind of, not like cooking grease, like some machine that's been greased is just kind of like wafting in the air. And this is a multi-tiered structure. It looks like there is a giant like wheeled contraption. It's not that giant. It's like meant for like 4 people to be inside of a wheeled device of some kind that's just like propped up on the top of this building, like as though it crashed on top of it and was just left there at some point in the past. There is a door. It's a wooden door. It's like a saloon style door that swings inwards. Sitting next to it is a gigantic Goliath that is very wide, rotund, bald, and has like tattoos covered head to toe, and has like a giant gut sticking out past like the shirt that's riding up on the stomach, has on spectacles, and has a couple of books that are like piled up on the right hand side of them. And they're like, this is not just another random person. Black Star knows who this is. And this is the bouncer of the Black Hole Sun. This is, he's referred to as the Door. But you know that his name is actually Bruff, Bruff. He is just like the biggest Goliath that anybody's ever seen. Probably stands 14 feet tall when he's standing, if he stands.
What the heck?
It's just sitting next to the door, cross-legged, has a book in his hand. It looks like a notebook, and it's covered in white feathers. that are all like almost like a teenage girl would have for like a journal, right? And it's got like a little like multicolored string that comes off of it with like a writing implement on it, and has it up and has the spectacles down, and is just like writing in the book and looks up at all of you. And it's at this point that you hear a little bit of music that is just barely audible coming from the inside of this establishment. And as the Goliath kind of looks up over the top of his glasses, oh, who are all of you? What brings you to the finest establishment in the Crooked Narrows?
Blackstar will look at him, beaming, smiling, and say, "Last week I went on a walk with your cousin, Margarine. She told me that the barber was out of town this week, but if I came back in a month, when my hair was a little bit longer, everything would be all right and they'd square me away. Well, when I went up about a month later, everything was all off. There was trash in the road and the doors were left open. So I had to leave, couldn't get my hair cut. Found out later someone been stabbed. And in Thieves' Cant, essentially said, 'It's Blackstar, bruv. It's lovely to see you. I had to go for a while. Now I'm back. Can we come in?'
Of course, Blackstar. It's so good to see you.
You too, bruv. You beautiful, beautiful man.
Anyone understand what they're saying?
I knew it was you.
How'd you know?
Something about a haircut, Garen.
Yeah.
With a voice as beautiful as yours.
Oh, stop.
Rook,
You're too sweet.
Rook will be happy to see you.
I'll be happy to see him.
Did you bring me any crayons?
I'll get you some. I didn't bring any. It's been a long journey. I'll tell you about it. These are my friends.
You're bigger than I am. I've not seen that before.
You are plenty big enough, my very well muscled friend.
We should arm wrestle.
I might let you win.
I like him.
Please, come in.
Thanks, bruv. You're the best. Always solid, literally and figuratively.
He like pats his stomach, puts the little notebook away, opens the door, which he's way too big to fit through. Maybe that's not entirely true. If he crawled in, he could get in, but opens the saloon thing, pokes his head in. Blackstar's here. And you just hear like cheering from the inside, just briefly.
Ah, it's good to be home.
Push open the saloon doors, and on the inside, it is a... I'm not going to describe everything that's on the inside of here, but it is like a biker gang set up a bar. It's very clear that this was like a home base for a gang at one point, that they just kind of, maybe not didn't give up, but they're just like, we're way too chill for this. We don't like the gang life anymore. We're going to open up a bar, and we're going to display a lot of our like things that we've gained over the years. And for some reason, nobody's come in to steal them, or maybe they have, and they've just gotten them back. Behind the bar, there is a man, middle-aged, silver... hold on. Greased, like, dark brown hair, slicked back, has spectacles on, similar to the ones that Bruff was wearing, but they have, like, a silver sheen to them. You can't tell if it's magical or otherwise. Wearing, like, a black vest, and literally has one leg up on the bar and a guitar, and is just playing along to the music that is just emanating in the space. There is no minstrel here playing the music, but the spectacles come down, like takes the spectacles off and looks at you. Blackstar. It like puts the puts the guitar down, vaults over the bar that's there, just like knocking drinks over. There's a couple patrons that are in here, and just like comes over to you and just gives you a huge hug. This is Rook. He's just referred to as Rook. His real name is Valis, which you would know. But everybody calls him Rook. A small gnome, female, comes out from the kitchen behind, runs out, super shrill voice that I absolutely cannot do. Has like wild red, like scraggly hair that's all like tied up in knots and like weird beads and things hanging down from the sides, a dirty apron on. This person's name is Mixie. She comes running over. Blackstar! Blackstar! You here? You back?
Not so loud, Mixie. I'm not gone. But I'm here, yes.
And as everybody takes in the scene and this embrace occurs, the conversation that ensues, and the place that you will likely be hanging out in for a little bit as you gather yourselves and digest everything that occurred since like an hour and a half ago when you entered Tael Noro, that is where we're going to end tonight's session.
Beautiful.
That is sick.
I'm excited.
Dude,